We have finally, I think, gotten our audio and our tech down to a fine science. We think things look good, sound good. We want to keep it here. And next up is to get the word out about the stream. So my first and only preach tonight is going to be to reach out to you guys to help us spread the word. Tweet, tell your friends. If you can bring some friends into the stream and check it out, get involved in the story as it starts to evolve. We're hopefully going to see the finale over the next couple of episodes, if not tonight, depending on how the playthrough goes, and move into season 2 in the next in the coming episodes. So and part of the other commitment that I want to make to this show is less talk, more rock. We just talked about this, so we want to make sure that when you tune into the channel, there's more gameplay happening, more things to watch, it's more entertaining. So with that, we're going to do shorter, quicker announcements. I've got a list to get through to keep me on track because, you know, I'm old, I tend to ramble, I get into a tangent. I'll stop myself right there before I get started. We're going to go through a couple of quick
December,
things.
I think.
We are...
I live with him, I know.
It's aging gracefully. Hey now. See, this is it. Trolling can happen at any time. I welcome it. We're getting back to regular programming this week. Chyna and I were away last week, so we had no map making Saturday, no DM chat on Wednesday. Missed you guys thoroughly. We're back in the regular action. So tonight, Thursday, 7 p.m., we've got Charisma Check back to normal. Our map making on Saturday, and our DM's chat coming back on Wednesday evening. We have a new bit menu, so all that is enabled. If you donate $2 to the stream, not only does it help support us and make things bigger, better, brighter in the future, but you can also give inspiration to any character at the table, and that'll be banked. They can have one banked inspiration and one DM's inspiration, so it's a rare rule where they can actually have two at a time, but they can only hold one banked inspiration at a time, so keep that in mind. And we'll add more options as we go along, we get used to things, and you will get a notification on screen, so I'll keep an eye out and make sure that's working properly. We have some new chat commands in the chat as well, so if you type ! Commands Plumbo Wonderland, welcome, hello. Am I your dad?
No doubt.
Do you know something I don't know? Clairemander likes a haircut, Merkesh.
Oh, thank you
Looking
kindly,
fly.
Clairemander.
We've thoroughly stroked his ego, but you can never have too many.
Not just my
too many
ego.
ego strokes.
Tune
Too
in
many
for
what?
Charisma
Egos?
Check late
Egos.
night.
Lots of egos around this table. Always well kept in chat. We have so check out the new bit menu, new chat commands. We do have a community Discord that we launched, so if you ! Discord, you'll get the info for that. It is a work in progress, so it's MJ. Tell Dad I said I love him.
Ah!
Hey,
Aw.
that was weird, and thank you.
Thanks, MJ. That's sweet. Oh, that's so cute. We're all about family, and you're all part of the family, including you, MJ. Welcome. Glad to see you in chat.
That happened, Matt.
So Discord's a work in progress.
We just
It's
need my
wide open
husband to
right now
drop in
because we do
there
have a
and
great community. We're not too worried about it. So get in there, meet other community members. I'm probably going to jump on there when I'm gaming outside of stream too, just to get in touch with you, and we'll share that info. I don't think many of the players actually know much about that, so that's my bad. I'll share that with you guys later.
Even if you had told us, I wouldn't remember.
You wouldn't remember,
I
but
don't know
you
what's
do, but he
happening.
would do it because he's that fucking dedicated to what we do here.
Sorry.
All right, guys, last and final announcement before we jump back into a quick recap and straight into the action for this session. Like I said, we're really reaching out to you guys to help us spread the word. That's the best thing that we can ask you to do. You know, if you can donate, if you can help out, that's all great. But if you just enjoy it and tell your friends, spread the word, that is a tremendous help to us, and we're eternally grateful for it. So if you type ! Tweet in chat, you'll get the information to tweet out for this stream. Really appreciate it. Even if you just pop over there, click a quick retweet, and help us get the word out. And that's all. Now we're getting straight back into the action as Chyna finishes freshening up. Of course, she likes to look, smoke, and fly for the interwebs, as we all do. We even shower on Thursday. We've totally changed our routine around.
We were supposed to
So-
bathe today?
We were still, well, you had a haircut. It's kind of like they wash your head for you. You don't really have to worry about it. You pay good money to have that shit get
10%
done.
cleaner than normal.
10% cleaner. A 10% cleanliness improvement for Merkesh today. So it's a big day. It's a big day here in the Shambezel Games living room pop-up studio. All right, so let's jump into a quick recap, guys. In the last episode of Charisma Check, entitled Escape from Hillsfar. Fortunately, appropriately so. I've learned to also title my episodes with more vague principles because it occurred to me, I was like, what if you didn't escape from Hillsfar? Then I could get sued for false advertising, and I can't afford that.
You just go Escape from Hillsfar Part 2.
Liability. So yeah, we just add parts to it until we get to the end eventually. But the party did manage to successfully extract the shadow of our prisoners, which was their primary target and Ranquess's objective in his investigation into the conspiracy regarding how and why the floating city of Thultanthar was brought down and crashed into Myth Draenor so many years ago. They managed to elude detection up until the point of their shock and awe entry into the proxy building. So if you missed it, check it out on the YouTube channel. Get caught up on the episodes. They're great. They come along really well, and the characters put a lot of great work into it. They managed to flee the city, backtracking through some allies that they made particularly couldn't really understand why they were banging on his door again. You kids.
Now we can never go back to Hillsfar, so we can never see him again.
So you have to watch the episode to get that in context, but otherwise you're welcome. And he was able to help them re-enter the Hillsfar sewers, back down into the deep depths, the forgotten depths of catacombs. Ranquess took a moment to split off from the group, perhaps presumably not to endanger his new companions, but he retraced his steps back to an ancient blood fountain that existed deep within that second layer. And it was actually a sin fountain, a blood fountain, and I'll shout out Claremander for the suggestion as we made the map. That was a community contribution. He discovered how to open it and entered the depths below. In there, they awakened something truly evil and sinister. Faerun went to follow up, and the two narrowly escaped from with their lives and beat a hasty retreat to accompany the rest of the companions as they ejected into the Moon Sea, safe from Hillsfar. But who knows what evil remains in this now open chasm deep below Hillsfar. In the meantime, the companions made their way out into the Moon Sea as a black ship emerged from the mists. And once they trepidatiously made their way to the ship, they realized that it was friendly.
You can jump your strength score.
It was orchestrated by the Harpers after receiving Chyna's message that they were attempting their extraction that day. And when they crested the deck of the ship, they were met by none other than the former Southern Garrison Guard of the Red Plumes, Desandra Dulac, and a frequent, tumultuous connection of Merkesh as well. So back in the episode called A Friend in Need, Desandra was the commander in charge of the Southern Garrison. She had actually apprehended Ranquess and Leon in an effort to bring Merkesh to the garrison and force a conflict between Merkesh and his brother because she had her own motives for doing so. Since, presumably, she's found her way to the helm of the Libertine, we don't know why, but that's where we're going to jump back into the story. As you climb up the side of the slick, wet ship, heaved over the gunwales, helped onto the main deck by Captain Desandra Dulac, and her last words from last session, "Welcome to the Libertine." As she regards you and helps you over, her long black locks billowing in the salty sea air, she looks over your shoulder at something in the water, and glistening just below the rippling waves, a shimmering, distorted image of Ranquess, Faerun latched to his back. You see Ranquess now speeding through the water. His hands have become web-like, and his feet have become fin-like as he courses in a dolphin kick closer and closer to the ship. She looks to you and says, "Friends of yours?" And let's get some pirate music.
Well, all my dreams are coming true.
Well, they're alive still, so I guess they're our friends still.
Yeah, those are our people.
Yeah, we need them.
All right. You, she regards some of her crewmates. Get them over the top. All hands, main deck, prepare for battle. Merkesh, make yourself useful, love. Tie down that mainsail. We'll need the wind when we come around the windward side.
For battle?
I make my way over to the mainsail.
She looks to the skies and says, "Have you forgotten? You've left quite a fanfare in your wake." And as your eyes lift over the horizon towards the top hills or walls of Hillsfar, you see now the dotted sky as objects flying come closer to you, and you hear the screeching of eagle-like flying creatures booming towards you. Yeah, I would say preparing for battle's a good option, sweetheart. She looks at Fun. Do you know how to operate a swivel gun?
I think I can learn it.
Excellent. With me. All hands prepare. As you're being helped over the gunwale, she looks over you. She says, Ranquess.
Man the weapons, kid.
She looks up at the crow's nest. How do you feel about heights? Excellent. Make ready. And she heads back.
What about me? What would you
towards-
like me to do?
Whatever you bloody well please, darling.
just don't make me
Let's just
climb
stay
ropes.
alive. My men could definitely use your support.
Right.
Work the main deck. Find a good vantage. Prepare to fight. Survival is the game, gentlemen.
Oh, see?
Let's make good for land as the ship begins to orient into the now fan V-shaped formation heading towards you, bearing down from the sky. And with that, jumping right into it, let's roll initiative.
Oh, what?
Yes, while running by before I go up to the crow's nest, then I asked Tamasin, could you please bestow on me some of your healing greatness?
I'm gonna chuck him a healing potion and do a Cure Wounds 4.
Okay. She tosses a
plus
healing potion lightly in the air,
7
knowing her
plus-
terrible history with throwing items.
Yes, plus another 4, so 11.
Thank you.
I pass it carefully.
As you grab the, as you
Tamasin, toss me that.
as
No!
you receive
I
a
will
careful
walk-
I
handoff
will
from
walk
Tamasin
this calmly across the sky.
and begin to make your way up the crow's nest as the healing light
Throw
of
it, just drop
Saloon
it on the
infuses
floor.
you
Yes.
and refreshes you almost immediately.
Also,
Everyone
use healing
prepares as
Cure
the long, large, rocking ship slowly begins to make its broadside turn and head back towards the coast away from Hillsfar. And in waiting, the Griffin Riders make their approach. But Merkesh is going to lead. Before we do,
How?
let's place
Yes,
these
let's-
for me.
Ooh.
And actually, Twain, I'll designate you or Ranquess. I don't know whichever of you guys has the better reach on the board. Just to kind of be
I
the
have beside you on that
designated
side?
mover of things.
Sure.
I don't know where they go. I'm just gonna put them-
They're gonna actually, yeah. Let's get them down, and then I'll help you place them. And these young brass dragons are actually not
What?
that thing.
Mm-hmm.
They are
They're
other
not
griffins.
dragons.
So these are all coming from the starboard bow side.
Nice.
There you go. Nice. Well done.
Well played,
And they're in a
Chance.
V-shaped
Well played.
formation. Yep. As they fly towards the ship, prepared for an onslaught.
Do we attack the rhino or do we attack the...
Okay. All right. So
Merkesh,
I'm going to run to the front of the boat.
into your mic.
I'm going to run to the front of the boat.
Speak normally, but into
I'm
your
going to
mic.
speak
There
normally
you go.
and run to the front of the boat.
Excellent. Okay.
Can you give me a hand there, Fine? Because you're much closer.
So
And-
you're going 5, 10, 15, 20. About 20 will get you straight to the bow.
All right. So once I reach that point, on the way there, I'm pulling out one of my hand axes
Yep.
and pulling out the other of my hand axes.
Okay.
No, just one. Just one hand axe.
One hand axe.
And my rapier. And I'm going to throw my hand axe at the closest griffin rider guy.
Okay.
I'm going for the rider, not the griffin.
Aiming for the rider, not the griffin. Okay. That's going to be 10, 15, 20. So roll me an attack against the rider with disadvantage, please.
Damn it. Because it's further than 20 feet.
Correct.
Okay.
And he is a quickly moving target on the back of a flying mount.
That is Merkesh's first natural one of the evening.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
As Merkesh fires a
Oh my
warning
God.
shot, sending a hand axe end over end into the sky
Warning,
past
and
the
I'm
riders.
not getting that one
And
back.
you can almost hear the bleach
It's
of
gone.
it entering the moon sea far beyond the back. And that'll take us to Rider 1.
Throwing the gold
my,
away.
where's my number 1 here? Fine, if you don't mind. Actually, if you can just give me numbers. 1, 2, 1, 2. 2, 1. All right, perfect. Rider 1. Rider 1 lifts a spear from a holster at his side and lets it fly towards
Shatter them.
Merkesh.
I'm gonna level 2 guiding bolt them.
I'm about to get hit by a spear, aren't I?
And that's a 9 with disadvantage because he's also out of range currently.
Yes! 9 does not hit
As
Merkesh.
it digs into the deep black wood of the Libertine just near your foot, but you narrowly escape it. And that takes us to
Gives me
Tamasin.
something to throw.
Miss Tamasin.
Oh, 120. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move up to the front there next to what's it? Next to
Okay.
Merkesh.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
fighter the party doesn't have.
And I'm going to cast a level 2 guiding bolt on the Griffin.
Guiding
foremost
bolt on the Griffin. Which one?
Who's frontest. That guy,
Frontis?
sure.
So
His
is that one or
frontis.
two? What's the number on this?
That's one.
That's one?
Yeah,
All
ones
right.
are on your
Maybe
left,
guidance can
twos
give
are
you
on
the
your
right
right.
word.
Gotcha. Griffin 1. All right, let's make an attack with Guiding Bolt against Griffin number 1.
Yeah, that's
Ooh.
fine. That's a 22.
A 22 hits as Saloon's light guides the bolt
That is
deep
4d6.
into the chest
May I
of the
please have a
soaring
D6
griffin.
from
Yes,
someone?
perfect.
Oh, all right.
Yay, mine was the
That's
highest.
good.
No, second highest.
16.
16.
That was a good roll.
Thank you.
That's good.
And the next attack on that bad boy gets
Sometimes
it.
she hits things.
Yes.
And the next attack gets advantage.
As your
on that.
guiding bolt sinks deep into the chest of the soaring griffin, it rocks and shakes from the impact, obviously taking some significant damage. Its rider barely clinging to the thick fur and hide, holding on but staying true. And that takes us to
Screw you.
No, she shot it. The guy didn't fall off.
If that was me on the back of that griffin, I'd be in the water.
number 1 right here, yes?
Yes.
Okay, he's going to
Oh, shit.
begin an assault run towards the ship. And he's going to go, he goes 10, 11, 12, what, 12 squares? No.
No.
60 divided by 5.
60 divided by 5 is 12.
12, yeah, so 12
That's the
squares.
science on that one.
It's 12 squares.
Strong, China.
12 squares.
12 squares?
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit. So he's going to fly, and he swoops deep,
Oh, Jesus.
low, and launches a spear at Tamasin. Sorry, as he flies by, his rider is going to hold, and what's the rider number here?
Sorry?
The rider
What's the
guy,
rider
the guy on
number?
top.
Rider number.
Yeah,
1. Perfect.
number 1.
I didn't
All right.
actually match them. That's coincidence. We
That
should
was-
probably
He's actually gone. I thought this was one. Here.
The Griffin one.
Griffin one.
That's Griffin 1. This is rider number is this guy.
Oh, okay.
We probably should have matched the riders to the griffins. But
Yeah.
Yes, that would have been ideal.
Rider 2,
Okay.
3,
Okay.
5.
So if you can just switch this rider on this griffin, just so I don't screw up my initiative. Yeah, just switch these two. That's perfect. All right. And he's gonna hold his.
basing it on the rider, not the.
It's a little bit of both, right? They're all NPCs in, so it's gonna get a
You
little
can
bit
hit all
tricky.
the things.
But I feel
Yeah.
like we can make it. We'll make it work.
I mean, you can make it work.
There's only 8 of
We're
them.
just gonna kill the things.
Rider number 5,
I'm
which was
saying,
number
with
5.
the
This
five.
Yep,
guy.
number 5 that guy.
All right.
Yeah,
He's
one,
going to
two,
hold
three.
his action as well until his griffin is within range. And this is griffin number 2.
That is Griffin 2, yeah.
All right. And it's griffin number 2's turn as griffin number 2 sweeps in along the stern or the starboard side of the bow. He's going to come all the way up here. His rider is going to launch a spear
At the guy in the crow's nest?
at Faerun.
Fine. Fine's done nothing.
And that's a 5. It's a 10. Nope. It's an 8. It doesn't matter. It's a
That is
miss.
a miss,
I'm
yes.
pretty sure. As another spear now dots the black
Can I
oak.
attempt to capture said spear? No, it's only
It's only if it hits. Yeah, as it digs deep. Again, now the main deck becoming littered with spears as the
ammo.
griffin continues its course and
We
it
have this
sweeps out
effect
this
on
way.
people.
1, 2, 3, and it will begin another swoop as it comes around, and that takes us to Chyna.
Oh, excellent. Good. All right. I am going to move forward to the front. Is that the back or the front? I don't know.
The
I mean,
back-
I've been
You
on
mean
a
the
boat.
bow?
Yes.
You're married to a
where-
newfie.
That would be the
Yes.
bow.
There you
The
go.
bow. I
right.
knew that. I've been on a boat. And I
Okay.
think I can reach those 2 griffins in the back there. 60 feet?
Yes, you can.
Yes?
Uh-huh.
Excellent. I'm going to cast level 2 shatter
Okay.
on those 2. So in between them, and it's a 10-foot sphere around
Excuse
them.
me.
Okay.
So we'll hit all of them.
Griffin 1, Rider 1, certainly. So,
So-
what's the save for the shatter?
It's a 12.
Oh, no, I know it's coming too. I'm
What is
also
the
ready to
wisdom
cover my
save, though?
eardrums.
I'm just
What?
waiting.
What is the save?
Just waiting.
Oh,
What do I
sorry.
roll
Let
to
me double
save?
check. I did look at it, and now I can't remember.
I feel like. Oh, that's true. Yeah, but she's next
Yeah,
to
but
me,
she's
and
right
it's always
next to
loud.
us. So-
Constitution.
Tamasin's not covered.
And it's a
for
12?
Maggie.
They both save.
Okay, so it's half damage.
As
It's
your
4 of
shatter
them, though, no?
blasts.
Yeah, it's
There's
4
4
of them, though.
monsters there.
It's all of them.
Aren't you hitting?
I'm hitting all of them.
Yeah,
It's
in
the
between-
2
Riders and the
griffins
griffins.
and the 2 riders. It's
what
a
two?
spear.
Oh, these ones?
Yeah, the ones in the
Yes.
back.
Oh, I thought you were attacking this one.
No.
No!
Okay, all right. Okay.
It's all 4 of them.
Okay, she's not gonna do it.
These two fail.
All
These
right.
two save.
Great.
So this is what, 2 and
Yes.
2?
Yeah.
And
2 and 1.
2 and 1, and this is 5 and 1.
No, that's 3 and 2.
3 and 2. Awesome. This is well planned. All right.
All right, so 3d8 thunder.
So 3 and 1.
Oh, she's not gonna make the noise.
Okay.
I thought for sure you were gonna shatter, like our eardrums.
I am shattering.
Roll your damage.
No, it's okay.
Go ahead. Roll
I
your
meant
damage.
with, I meant with the flute.
Don't
but it's
confuse
okay.
her. Roll your damage.
Give me a minute. Let me cast my damage first. Oh, yes.
Oh, that's wow.
That's 18.
18. All right. So 2 and...
Wait!
No. 2 and what?
No.
Okay, do it. 2. This is what? 2 and what? Please
and-
not in the mic.
I don't know.
What are
2
the
and
numbers
3?
here, guys?
Oh,
think
sorry.
that was 3
1,
and
2, 3. 3 over 2.
What are these
We're
two?
just waiting for
Yes.
3
the
over 2. So Rider 3 takes 18.
Yes, they all take...
And Griffin 2 takes 18.
Yes. And the rest of the other two take 9. And I'm like...
Well, this will make things easier. Rider 3 cannot withstand the shards of air that split and course into his face and
dead.
eyes. He falls to the
Take
ground
that!
as the shards falls to the water as the shards follow him into the moon sea,
Goodbye!
still driving deep into him as he ceases to exist. The griffin continues its course.
And the other two took the
The
9.
other two take 9. And what are the numbers on Rider 1 and Griffin?
This is Rider 2.
That was
Rider 2?
Griffin 1. Well, 1. This is... And that was Rider
And this
3.
is we'll
Yeah,
say
Rider 3's
gold
dead.
2.
Over
Gold
2,
number
yeah.
2. Sorry, this is gold 1. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. However, this griffin, worse for wear, takes the brunt of the shatter and becomes shredded in midair, sending its rider flying forward.
That solved that
And
problem really
he
fast.
is
Dex
going
check to grab the boat.
Make a successful acrobatics check to just
And
barely
land in our
grab.
laps.
Not quite that far. He's not you, Fine. He's gonna barely grab onto the ram prow here, as he holds now, gripping on as he
good. That's
gets
a
his
good
legs around and begins to
Yes!
pull himself up
But it's more like
to
this.
the stern or to the bow of the ship, and that will take us to Fine.
I did things! You're welcome!
I was right after China.
Yes.
Did you mark those down?
Well, it was Rider 3, but he's dead now.
Right, okay. I was instructed to man the guns, so that's where I'm going to.
Okay. So you're gonna use your full movement? 1, 5,
Yeah, easily.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you usually get there. As you pull the swivel gun around, you feel that it's Desandra yells over your shoulder. She says, "The fuse is prepared. When it gets low, lean into the gun that will help you manage the recoil. Aim, make it true."
Very good.
As you whip the iron swivel gun around, and you find
okay,
a mark.
Yes. Lean into it, right?
Who are you aiming for?
I will aim for Griffin 2, Rider 5.
Griffin 2, Rider 5. As the fuse sinks
That's a
below
natural
the
20,
whip.
if you can't see
And a
it.
natural 20.
Yeah.
That's enough.
You
See?
brace yourself
See
as
it?
the gunpowder ignites, sending this ballista out from the swivel gun, careening towards its target, and it's going to be 1d10. This will be 2d10 on the target of your choice. Griffin
I will be
or
aiming-
Rider?
Rider only, please.
Rider. Okay. And this is Rider 2?
2d10? Yes, no, actually that's Rider 5.
Rider 5.
On
2d10 on Rider 5.
2d10. That's a 7 and 10. 17 points of damage.
Okay.
There's no...
The iron ballista catches him squarely in the chest, sending him some 20 feet off into the distance, still buried in his chest as his body courses below the moon sea and out of sight. It's Griffin now, screeching,
a powerful
continuing its
gun.
course towards you.
So we have 2 unmanned...
2 unmanned griffins and 1
And that
man
takes us to
griffin.
Ranquess as you crest the top of the crow's nest, now with about a 50-foot vantage and about 30 feet away from this griffin.
I would like to use Tides of Chaos to give me advantage on my attack and attack the only griffin left with a rider on it.
Okay.
And I would like to use a sorcery point to twin the spell and also attack the guy clinging on to the front of the ship.
Okay. What's the spell?
This is just going to be with a firebolt.
Gotcha.
Cantrips!
Easily making the range.
That's brutal. And I'm going to actually use my inspiration and re-roll because I don't want to.
Okay. 1d20 to make it.
Actually, one was
Your plus 5, right?
Yeah,
So
so 14.
14.
What was the 14?
14 have hit.
Yeah, but
You have
decided
to
use
roll your
before.
inspiration. Yeah. Before I tell you.
Say it. Say
What
it.
was it?
That's my natural one for the night.
So your highest was a 14?
The highest was 14.
Okay. Since you said you were attacking the griffin before you twinned to the rider, we'll go with the griffin's AC. Your griffin attack is good. It will not hit the rider. The twin flies off.
It
So the
hurt
griffin
me.
attack is good. Go ahead and roll your damage against the mount.
Magic. Music.
That is
Excuse
7.
me.
7 damage
7 damage.
on griffin number 1, I believe.
Allergic to
This is Griffin 1, yes.
That is G1.
Rhino 1.
feathers.
So many feathers.
We're gonna call
It's a
him
horsehair.
Feather 1.
Yes.
Gold 1's
Yes.
down. Gold 2's up.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
there we go.
Bless
Sorry,
you.
7 damage, right?
Griffins.
Yes.
It's a combination of the eagle feathers
Okay.
and the horse hair.
Yeah. Just too
As
much.
it,
Wreaks havoc
it
on his
bolts
sides.
to the side,
A
its
little too
rider
much.
manages to hold on, but you see a black streak against white feather as the scorch of the firebolt takes a nice sized chunk out of its left side. And that brings us to
I'm sorry, I think you're beautiful creatures, but you're going to kill me.
rider number 2, who was holding his action, I believe. Where's my rider number 2?
Rider number 2 actually is.
That's this guy? Yeah, so
Deceased.
he's got
Yes.
He's got it. Yeah, he held his action. He's already on there. No, actually, sorry, it is his turn. Because
Choose
he
the one
made
pushed
his
on the
save
front,
to
right?
grab onto the
Yeah.
stern.
Yeah.
As he runs towards Tamasin,
Yo.
blades out, 2 short swords.
You gotta come past me first,
As he
fucko.
comes, as he careens towards you, but
Not
he
wearing
seems
armor right
intent
now.
on Tamasin.
FYI.
With a 15.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Oh,
As it hits.
I have no armor on.
All right, he runs up against you first. Merkesh, he shoulders into you. He swings with a 15.
Ouch.
At this point, you guys see Merkesh. You see Tamasin in the panic. She's looking around, trying to maintain heals, trying to maintain guiding bolt to his sister companions.
I'm going
and in
overboard.
that moment of stress, her eyes go dead,
oh no.
almost white, as they zone out through. And she struggles. She stops. She rights herself as this red plume
Oh God,
scout
what's
is
happening to
running
me?
towards her down the bow, barely keeping his momentum with 2 short swords swinging. Tamasin, roll me 2 d20.
What's happening?
One's a 9, one's a 16.
Okay. You've never seen her react this way. Before she pulls her mace, she takes a low defensive stance. Looks familiar to you, strangely fine. As she holds up a fist and straight out with a palm strike, goof, stops the soldier dead in his tracks, spins around with a roundhouse kick, and her heel catches him poof, squarely in the jaw. Roll a d4.
sticking out.
Roll a d4 plus 5 for me. With lightning quick accuracy and maneuvers you've never seen Tamasin pull off, she catches him squarely in the jaw, sending blood and spittle flying ahead of him as he careens clear of the bow into the water,
Now,
dead.
Song about this.
I'm
Merkesh,
so,
as you're ready to prepare.
I'm
to
so
s-
proud of you
to
right now.
save her.
I don't even know what's
And
happening.
then you wheel around and your vision clarifies and you take into focus the boat and you feel steady, but all you know is that you've come to as this body is flying away from you. And Merkesh kind of giving you a sidelong glance.
What
I'm
the
sure
hell did I
this is
just
what
do?
you've seen.
You
You're a
just,
ninja.
you just, end that guy.
Oh.
Quite
Tamasin
impressive.
is a ninja.
You're at the back of the boat.
Everybody is
But
going
before you can
fighting.
converse further, Griffin number 2 flies towards the boat and finds.
Come at me, bro.
He comes straight towards Ranquess, flying at the only eye level target it has, and keels over dead in the moon sea, never to be seen or heard from again.
Happens all the time.
As he flies, yeah, just if you. Sorry, yeah, the boat is a movable object.
It is. I just don't want to knock over my mic.
I'm still having a moment.
As he comes down, his beak leading through the air as his razor sharp beak comes towards you with a 21.
That definitely hits.
D10
Was your heal enough?
for 5 damage.
Still up.
And as it courses away from you, its claws come to rake behind.
Jump. Jump.
Two sets of talons fly at you for a 20.
Yep.
12 damage.
Uh-oh.
As he rakes into
Oh,
the robes. And you see
Ouch.
Ranquess up on top, being harried by this screeching, panicked beast, holding onto the
You know what I did
holding
to
onto the
Bella?
crow's nest
Climb
railing,
ropes.
managing to keep his
He's
keeping his
up
perch
high.
on the
He's
top.
Crow's nest.
And that will take us back to the top of initiative for Merkesh.
The griffin and rider that are adjacent to where I am currently standing, are they flying above me where I cannot reach them with my swords? Or are
Sorry,
they next to me?
These two?
Yeah.
Right,
They're
one,
they're
one.
they're on a swoop towards you. They're probably about 20 feet overhead. About 20 feet out of your range diagonally in the air.
I'll deal with them.
Okay. I am going to use my movement, my action to dash, thus giving myself the ability to move a total of 12 squares.
Okay.
And I'm going to move those 12 squares to the top of the crow's nest where Ranquess just went down.
Okay.
If you could crow's nest me.
So you're going to dash up here if I
Yeah.
10 and up the ladder.
40 and I can go up another 20.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check
I do acrobatics
with
so-
advantage.
Oh, thank you.
You have a rope web netting that makes it quite easy
would
to
make
scale the
that
mast.
Acrobatics, that's a 16.
16, and with ease you vault over the top of the rail, and you're now in the midst of this tooth and nail fight, this conflict between Ranquess
I
and
know, but it's
this
gonna be a great
screeching
song.
panicked beast.
I don't have any. I don't have a bonus action to attack, so I'm going to wait. I took my action to dash, so that's the end of my turn. I'm done.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
I'll save you money.
Rider 1? Is Rider 1 still alive?
Yes, Rider 1.
This is Rider
Griffin
1?
yes.
All right. Rider 1, as his great beast flies over the top, launches a spear at Tamasin, seeing her
Ow.
just cleanly dispose of his colleague and companion.
still doesn't
and that
know what
is a
happened.
17.
Yeah, that hits.
As the spear finds
That
its
hits all
target
versions of me.
for 2 damage.
Ouch. I'm okay. I'm still okay.
Ah, shucks. And continues its flight across the main of the ship, and that takes us to Tamasin to retaliate.
Sorry, did
It's coming low. It's gonna come low.
Ranquess
Its griffin's
just
gonna attack next.
did Merkesh just get
no.
Ranquess down the crow's nest? Is he on the ground yet?
They're
They're up
no,
top.
they're
They're
both
both at the
up
top.
in the crow's nest,
I still
struggling
can't
with
climb.
this flurry of feather and
There's not a lot of
talon
room
as
up
the
there
shrieking
Yeah, no, I can't
continues.
get up.
Wait, can I borrow one of your die containers?
But I'm going to cast a I'll do Sacred Flame on the rider on this guy.
Okay, that's a dex save.
Dex save 14.
Oh, nice. Oh, almost nice.
And he fails his
feels
dexterity
those.
save. As
then
regaining your
use
senses now, the cackling white light from Saloon finds its target.
5.
5 damage. Okay. Striking him squarely. And
flying.
he easily manages to hold on and retain control of his beast as they continue their descent towards the deck
Far
of
off
the
the
boat.
griffin.
His griffin now lunges as it courses over the small group here in the front of the boat at Jarlin.
Oh yeah, those guys.
His beak misses as you hear a sharp clack as the beak slams around, and the talons missing Jarlin as well as he tumbles off to the side. The talons taking huge gouges out of the black oak of the ship. Desandra yells from the helm, "Someone's going to pay for that damage, right?"
Sure.
And the griffin
Yes.
continues its course, trying to fly higher into the air. And because of his
bag of
proximity, Jarlin is going to get an opportunity attack, as is Chyna.
Oh.
Jarlin's would be with disadvantage, right?
What's that?
Jarlin's would be with disadvantage because he's using his bow.
That's correct. Yes, yeah. And he, as an arrow flies far off to the right, missing its target entirely. Thanks for the
So
reminder.
if I'm doing an opportunity attack,
Yep.
can it be a spell?
Has to be a main hand attack, basically.
I can't.
Just a simple attack.
No, unless you
Okay,
have.
so I can throw a
throw a
dart
dart.
then, because I can't hit him with a rapier. 'cause it's
Dart
too
or
far.
rapier? Yes, you
Oh,
can.
hit
This
him
is
with
as
a
he
rapier?
swoops down and
Okay, well then
swoops
yes,
back
I'll go
up
on my
out of
rapier.
reach. Yep, go ahead.
That's 15.
Okay, that is a hit.
It's a what?
That's a hit.
Oh, okay.
You're attacking the griffin or the rider?
I believe it's because the griffin is moving away.
I will.
They're both.
they're
both.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both.
I'll attack the griffin.
The griffin? Sure.
10.
10 is.
I'm rolling well on my
Alright,
D8s
that
today. My D8s are hot today, guys.
The boys can't hit anything, so we've hit all
Yes,
the things.
I know.
I'm just saying.
As the
it's like
griffin
there's about to
crosses
be
over,
a
you
what?
manage to sink
Throw
your rapier
fight.
deep into its belly, and it jerks forward and up sharply to get away from you, sending its rider flat down hard on the deck, prone. You can leave him right there. That's perfect.
That was perfect.
That's perfect, yeah. And he begins to fly away from the ship, but we'll keep him right there
Why
for
do
now.
we keep letting
He is
my
down,
laugh?
he's prone on the deck. And that will take us to, I feel like Ranquess is ready. Oh no,
Nope.
not quite there.
I haven't gone
Tamasin's
yet.
action.
It's
Oh,
fine.
I'm done.
Wait, I haven't
Yeah,
gone.
so we're going to...
Well, no.
Then
I've
it's
gone.
That was my
Chyna.
opportunity.
No, that
attack.
was your reaction, your opportunity attack. Hippogriff 2 went, we're over to Chyna now.
Yeah, great.
Go
All
stab
right.
him.
You've used your reaction for this turn with
advantage.
your opportunity attack.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to stab him.
Okay.
Oh, question. Giving inspiration to someone, is that an action or is that
Bonus action.
Bonus?
Bardic inspiration? It is an action.
It's
yes.
an action?
Yeah, I believe so. Double check.
I thought it was
I got it.
bonus.
Oh, sorry.
It's a bonus action.
I thought it was a bonus action.
So did I.
I got it right here.
She says as though she knows
I thought
the
I remember
boss.
thinking it should be. But I can't
You
remember
can
if it actually...
inspire others through stirring words or music.
Yes.
You may use a bonus action on your turn to
Okay.
choose.
Excellent.
All right.
Beautiful. All right. So the first, I'm going to attack him on the ground with my rapier.
Okay.
If he's prone, does that mean it's advantage?
It's
right?
advantage, that's
Great.
correct. And you get your dexterity
Oh,
bonus.
that's good. No, that was bad.
Okay.
Bad dice.
Roll a good one.
Oh,
That's a good
that's
one.
a good one.
That'll
is
do
a
it.
hit.
I think that's a hit. Yes.
Rider 1, flailing on the ground now, starts to skitter back towards the side of the ship, but not before you sink your rapier deep
Yeah.
into
That's
his
another
chest.
10.
Oh no, her D8s are on fire.
And
My
ends
D8s
him.
Yeah.
As he's moving, your rapier pins him to the deck,
Yeah,
straight
I, like,
through the
put
chest,
it right
as a
through
pool
him.
of blood begins to form
He's
underneath him.
pinned to-
And your
Ew,
inspiration.
kinda ew.
What?
You're gonna
It's
use your
fine. I'm used to this motion.
Okay, that was. You said bonus action?
Yes, I'm going to. Who?
No one got it.
You're up
We did.
there with him.
I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Fine.
I am inspired up, actually.
Oh.
far out of range.
No.
Finds out of
DM
range.
inspiration
No,
and
it's
Bardic
DM
inspiration are two different things.
inspiration.
Okay, so DM's
But I
inspiration, this is
believe
why I
I
asked
still
if it was
have-
Bardic
oh, no, I did use
inspiration or
it. You're right,
DM's.
You're right. I'll take
Yeah,
it.
okay.
I'll take
Yeah.
it.
So you're giving him
Wait.
Bardic
I'm
inspiration?
gonna give him.
Phrasing.
You're gonna have to move because it's only 60 feet, right?
Is it?
Yeah, and he's like, he's
You got
about
move.
You stab the guy, you can
20,
run.
All right,
30,
yeah, make me
40,
move.
50. You'd have to move about 10, 15
All right.
feet this way, and
Perfect.
you're
Let's
fine.
do
Send
that.
over to the other side of those two on the deck. And
Do,
then,
do,
yeah,
do,
she's
do.
good. Yep.
As your words ring out in Fine's ears, and
Come on, fire, you can do
into the mic. You're a musician.
In the mic.
Be a musician.
Sorry. Come on, fire, and you can do it. I believe in you.
I feel inspired.
Fantastic. What an incredible
I feel
transaction.
inspired.
That's a-
It wasn't the fact that you're holding a really big.
Call
So,
him A, call him B.
yeah.
Coincidentally enough, we bring us to Fine's turn. It will take you a turn to reload.
Kathy.
So it'll take you a turn to reload the swivel gun if that's what you choose to use. Otherwise, free action, free movement.
I will do. Sorry, how high is Griffin 2 in the air?
Griffin 2 from where you are is about 60 feet.
60 feet. I
Yeah,
cannot
it's
reach
about a
that.
50-foot elevation.
But fortunately, I think my spear can reach that far.
No, stop.
60 feet, you say?
Save it
So
for
while it's. Do I have to actually manually recharge it, or does it do that automatically?
The swivel gun?
Yes.
You have to take a turn to reload it.
Oh, okay. Then I will do that.
Okay.
But I will.
It's very
Can I
large.
aim it
I'm assuming.
for
I don't
next
know.
time? Never mind.
Yeah. Next time
Yeah.
you can use it as you did the first
Perfect.
time.
Okay.
Everything else.
Okay.
I will take my
So
action.
you take the plunger.
Yeah.
Seems fairly natural. You can make your way around it. You plunge it down. You reload another
Yes.
iron ballista into it. Pack the gunpowder in. From a little iron monkey or brass monkey on the ground. Ready for your next turn, and that'll take us to Ranquess.
There's a bunch of penis jokes happening.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
your action?
He just
What are
said
you
there was a brass monkey.
doing? What are you doing?
It's a cool
I'm
monkey.
doing a death save because I'm still down.
Oh, are you down?
Yes,
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
down.
I didn't realize you went down.
Oh no, the griffin took him out.
I just thought things are getting knocked over, man. I didn't know.
Flailing Griffin took him out.
It was a success. All right, Ranquess. One success for
Merkesh, just
Ranquess.
drop his body on me. I can catch it up.
I got him.
All right, and that will take us to
I know, I'm kidding.
Griffin 2.
Do not, under any circumstances.
I'm gonna do that every time someone's doing the death save.
Sorry, no, Gold 2. Gold 2.
Gold 2, yeah.
Seeing a new target now will shriek as its wings flutter and buffet the crow's nest. Its beak snap towards you, Merkesh, for 20.
20 hits.
11 damage. Its talons now furiously slash at you for a natural 20.
A natural 20 also
Natural
hits.
20.
Nice.
Why did I come up here to save your ass?
Are we both making death saves in the pocket?
7,
I'm good.
It's not down.
I'm good. He can't take me.
14, 15, 16,
Honestly.
17 damage.
I'm
17
going
damage.
to throw a healing potion.
I'm
You guys
fine,
watch the
I'm
fray
fine.
in the crow's nest now as this gnashing beast is just furiously clawing at the bodies now of Merkesh. Are you up or down?
4 health remaining.
4 health. Merkesh barely manages the brunt, but you can now see visible wounds appearing on Merkesh as he takes a protective stance over Ranquess's body and tries to fight off this thrashing hippogriff. And that'll take us to
Merkesh, I have a.
I hate
Merkesh.
birds.
Make a death save for me, please.
No,
I'm not
he's still
down.
up.
I'm up.
Don't then. Fine. What do I do?
I don't want to make a
Sorry,
death
that's
save,
a
as I am
foreshadowing.
Shut up.
Merkesh, take your turn.
Okay, so what I am going to do
I'm next. I'm gonna
is
try to-
I am going to use my action
Yep.
to administer a healing potion
What?
to Ranquess
Lying on the floor.
and not myself.
Oh,
Yes,
like,
to
I got
Ranquess.
from him, but
I will administer a
No,
healing
I-
potion to
I-
Ranquess.
I
So I
stabbed
roll
you.
2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Actually, does he roll or I roll?
He rolls.
You drink, you roll.
That is 4 plus 2, so 8. Yay.
Okay. And I'm going to use my bonus action to use my remaining martial die to do something I've never done before, and I'm going to rally my my fallen companion who just got up.
Okay. All right.
So Merkesh is going to be like, "Get up, you son of a bitch! The fight's not over."
All right.
And what rally does, I can use a bonus action and expend a superiority die. The creature gains temporary hit points equal to my D8 roll plus my
Ooh.
charisma modifier.
Oh, nice, nice.
That's fancy.
And that was an 8 plus my charisma modifier
Right, Mordecai?
is 3. 11 temporary hit points.
11 temporary hit points. Very nice boost. So rank was suddenly rocketing to 19. Ideally, you like a shot of adrenaline. You practically bounce back to your
And
feet.
I will
on your
mark
turn.
off that healing potion.
All right, perfect. And movements. You good?
No, I'm up in the crow's nest. I did
All
the
right,
thing.
perfect. Tamasin, that brings us to you.
There's still a griffin up there by the crow's nest, yes?
Wait, doesn't Rider 1 or Griffin 1 have an action now?
Sorry.
After Merkesh, it's Rider 1, Griffin 1.
Rider 1's
They're
dead.
all dead.
And Griffin goes after Tamasin.
Very good.
I am going to. Yeah, I'm going to do a guiding bolt, just regular level 1 at the griffin that's up there. In the,
Griffin
crow's
that
nest.
is above you.
Actively attacking.
This guy who's prone is dead now,
Yeah, he's dead.
right? So we
Oh,
can
yes.
take him off the board.
I
Um,
stabbed him.
Sorry, and your guiding bolt. is-
Guiding
Gold
bolt on griffin, crow's nest griffin.
Yeah,
This
gold
guy?
2.
Gold 2?
Yeah.
All right. Gold 2 responding. And what's the range on your guiding
120.
Guiding bolt, you said, right?
120.
You're good. All right, go ahead.
Oh, that's shitty. But actually, with my bonus, it's not as bad. 15?
With a flailing target panicked as such, they're not that hard to hit, and your strike rings true. Your guiding bolt lands squarely in the chest of this beast, taking its attention momentarily from its targets.
Nice.
14.
Oh, there was 3. Ooh, good.
14?
Isn't it 46?
No, not yet.
14?
It's 46 when I second level it.
Okay.
Is it 14 times?
14.
As the target ceases harrying you, immediately bathed in this blistering orange light, and it begins to just go limp and fall out of the sky, crashing hard on the deck below.
I look over the sea air whipping through my hair and just give her a wink.
Oh, nice. Mid-combat flirting.
This
I love
fight
it.
is all Tamasin. I don't know what's going on here.
Hey now!
and Chyna.
Hey now! I did take one right.
It doesn't work.
Hippogriff number 1.
Power on
Hippogriff number 1.
Yes.
Hippogriff number 1. Hippogriff number 1.
That's correct.
Makes for another swoop down towards the deck and lands. He lands here on the deck
Wait, does this come off?
and
It
begins
does.
thrashing. Nah, just leave it there. That's fine.
Okay.
Just leave it on the stand. It's too much digging around. All right, so this one lands before you now, screeching, "Ah!" Tamasin right in your face
Hey.
in a flurry of beak and
Ouch,
talons.
ouch. Everything's hitting me right now.
With its gnashing beak sharp against the noon air. It snaps at you with a 17.
Yep.
You're prone. I don't know. I don't like it.
For 6 damage.
Ouchies.
As its beak takes a tear not
I'm
only
still
of your
okay.
flesh but of your gown, and its talons come up over the top towards Aravale.
Oh, poor Arvale.
The 19, which is a hit.
These guys can't kill our goddamn shadow bards. We just
We
rescued
just-
these guys.
15
we
damage
just saved
as it
the
pounces on
elf.
Aravale and begins to tear and gnash. Her body goes limp underneath it as it begins to claw into
Shite.
her flesh.
You're gonna hurt it.
And that takes us to
Hurt it good.
Hippogriff 2.
Because I can bring her back.
Hippogriff 2 begins to course towards Faerun. And it begins a swoop at Faerun and Desandra.
It's just
Fine,
straight
its
in the
razor sharp beak comes at you with an 11.
That is a miss.
As it narrowly gnashes, you dodge behind the gunwale and the swivel and almost deflect it, but not before its talons come over the top of Captain Desandra. And it misses her as well. As she turns from the helm, her metal armored bracers up in front of her as she beats off the buffeting wings of this griffin, and it continues its flight forward.
Everyone heard it. I was waiting for that guy.
With
Somebody
one
had to
hand
be
on
that
the
guy.
helm and the other reaching for a saber at her waist, in one fluid motion, she slashes in an upward arc towards the griffin. And fine, you will also get an opportunity attack.
Sweet. Unarmed, I
So we
imagine.
just need to take down the one that's
Main attack, yeah.
Yeah.
So quarterstaff.
I imagine both hands are on
I will.
the.
Yeah, your
weapons.
hands are on the wheel.
So that is a 24 to hit.
That's a hit.
Isn't Whispers has not anything to do with intelligence?
For max damage, 7 points
7 points.
of bludgeoning.
Your staff sets up Desandra. She arcs up high and you end up combined taking a nice chunk out of its underbelly as it courses up towards you and continues across the stern of the ship, flying this way and ending about right there. Perfect. And that will take us to Chyna.
Okay.
Take this down. Or
Excellent.
melee
Wait,
for the rest.
it's the top of the initiative, right?
Nope, not yet. We're
Oh, you're okay. My bad.
Tamasin went with her guiding
Yeah.
bolt.
Yes, sorry,
and
my bad.
smoked that
That's
one.
all right.
Yeah, right, Jenna.
Yep.
All right.
Just-
The griffin that is directly attacking everyone.
Yep. He's on the deck now.
Yes, so
In
I'm
your
going to
face.
use first level dissonant whispers on him. So it's
Okay.
a wisdom saving throw.
Right. Is there an intelligent?
No,
requirement?
there is not. I checked.
Oh, you got rid of those, huh?
Yep. Screw those intelligence ones.
Yeah, no, they're pretty stupid. All right, was it a wisdom saving
Wisdom
throw?
save.
Yeah.
They were actually fairly wise for
Yes,
beasts.
right. Stream. Fuck them. They
But,
gotta understand.
Not
your
enough to
spells.
withstand the onslaught
Yes,
of your
kill
cutting
it.
words.
3d6. 3d6. Die. Well, maybe not. 7.
As you've seen Chyna just land the finishing blow before, she curses in this weird
like-
language that takes shape
The
and form
language
of some
of love
screeching
and
of her
sex.
own, and the beast's
you're a
eyes
griffin
loll
and you
back in
don't
its
get
head
it.
as its tongue falls limp out of its mouth,
Right.
and it poof,
I'm like, you can't put that tongue in my
dead,
mouth anymore.
still on the deck
I think you should steal a feather for your next
as it
one.
falls.
Oh wait, I
lifeless.
usually take a feather.
Okay, it's still there, but we'll take it off to keep the board
Take
clean.
it right then.
All the bodies that are on the deck are still on the deck, just for the sake of narrative. All right,
add a
and that
feather
will
to my
take us
necklace.
to Faerun. The
What's
swivel gun now primed and ready.
Perfect. What's the angle of attack on this one? Can I swing it around
You
to go cross ship?
roll me an acrobatics check if you're targeting that griffin.
Acrobatics, that is 17.
Okay. Now roll your attack against that griffin.
And
With
don't
a plus
forget your
5.
die of bardic inspiration.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
well,
And
that I
it's-
do.
and it's 6 if you need
Unneeded.
to.
20.
Save
Wait,
it.
is there any bonuses?
Plus 5.
Oh yeah, 23.
23.
Yes.
Okay. As you see, you've now taken a chunk out of this griffin as it soars overhead. You know the swivel gun is on a swivel, but you can't get outside the boat to aim it. So you see Faerun kick the butt of the swivel gun. It swivels around facing him, and he ducks as it courses, sending
are we
its
all so
payload
cool today?
towards the griffin, striking
so
it
annoyed
neatly.
in here
Roll
so
your
much.
D10 for damage.
Yeah. D10 for damage.
Don't kill it.
What? Why?
I want a piece of something.
5.
5
5.
damage.
I don't know if there's any bonus.
As the payload blisters into a shower of sparks, catching the the feathers
The
on
feathers. I have
fire
one.
as it courses into a smoldering ball over and into the water below, thus ending combat. As the sounds of fighting silence around the deck, the boat completes its port keel and begins to slowly rock and pick up steam as the sails ruffle and fill with wind, carrying you on course back towards Alua's lighthouse, Elventree in safety. Let's go ahead and clean up the battlefield. What do you want
Can
to
I
do?
help
I look
her?
down at the base of the crow's nest that I'm currently standing in and say, "You can get up now."
I'm good here.
I make my way back down and start
Okay.
throwing bodies off the
Start
boat.
to scale down the
I-
rope mesh to the
I
deck.
go up to a griffin. I start filing off one of its claws.
Okay.
And add it to my
I'm
necklace.
going to.
Fine, harvesting or giant of harvesting trophies.
I'm going to
Go ahead.
use my last spell slot, which is a second level 2.
Okay.
Heal the Shadowvar that just got wrecked.
Yeah. Here,
Gotcha.
Just
Will I
got
save you?
You
erect.
drop to your knees,
Wrecked.
torn shreds out of
Not
your own
erect.
robes.
I'm thinking like,
That's
no, he
really
gets
high
up.
heel.
Run your
on the
hands
wall.
over the shadow of her lifeless or her still body as her wounds begin to close. Her eyes
That's-
begin to flutter.
That's an intense amount of healing. That's like 21 healing.
Okay. She's at max. Her eyes become instantly aware as her wounds begin to close and form scar tissue almost
I cured
instantaneously.
all your things and everything you suffered from a childhood.
She holds your hands and your face in her hands, and she says, "There will not be enough opportunities in this lifetime to thank you again for saving
You owe
my
me no
life."
thanks. This is what I do.
As I've made my way back down from the crow's nest, I get back to tying off the mainmast like I was supposed to have done when we were attacked, so we can furl our sails or unfurl the sails and get the hell out of here.
Okay. As the boat turns, begins to rock back towards the coast. You manage to strain against the ropes to pull the mainsails tight. They fill with wind, carrying the boat towards its intended destination.
I roar out at the top of my lungs. Everybody okay?
Yeah, we're good. I hurt a
Dishonor
lot.
begins
I'm so
shouting
hurt.
commands
I've
at
been
her
better.
crew.
I mean, I was good. I was hurting from before.
Sorry, everyone who's
Alright.
hurting. I'm really out of magic right now.
Ranquess doesn't reply to any of this. He just stays up in the crow's nest and has a little cry.
Okay.
No,
Cassandra, this is
Stop,
probably
stop.
only the first wave. We need to move.
I'm assuming
We're
you're
full
taking us-
sail. We'll go as quickly as we can back to Alua's. I don't intend to bring my ship back in tatters.
Wait, were you notified about going out here from the Harpers? How did you know? What were
Certainly
you
have
doing out
many
here?
questions. Crew, see to it.
It's not an answer.
Mr. Meliard, get us the fuck out of here. And she commands her second to take the helm. She says, "Gather yourselves and join me in my cabin." She makes her way down to the main,
9 faces right now.
into her quarters, and invites you within.
Sure. Everything
I
hurts.
hear everyone leaving the deck, and so I basically stand up and press the digitation so they can't tell that I was crying. And then I piece the fuck out. of the
Poor
crow's
Ranquess. Tears of a clown.
As
Alright.
combat has now ended.
Ow.
Well done, ladies.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm so hurt.
and fine.
This is blood.
Yeah, no worries.
Hi, everyone.
You're welcome.
Wait, I want you.
Just out of character. Next time, I get the gun. Just saying.
I was following orders.
Okay. You move faster. I mean, that's why.
Are we going in then?
So Shadowvar begin to just find a
I
quiet
do
corner
have
to
some
sit down
questions
and
for her.
get low onto the deck
Well-
as the ship begins to continue to course and rock.
We should make sure the Shadowvar is squared away before we go into the cabin. But we should definitely go into the cabin because actually, you guys
you go speak
guys
in the
make
cabin.
sure to take care of the Shadowvar. I'll be right back, and I make a beeline. for
Merkesh, I'm following him.
No.
I will tend to Shadow Bar.
Thank
Okay.
you, Ranquess.
I never get an
Relay the
opportunity.
information to me from the cabin.
Sorry, Merkesh, not
We
right
don't
now.
do the split. Yeah, really.
Later.
Honestly, there's a time and place.
If anyone knows better, you know I'm fine with that sort of thing. But for now,
Maybe
It's just
moderately
keep firmly in
cockblocked.
mind, I did not Garrick block you.
I didn't. I'm not blocking
All right.
anything. I do. Yeah, well, we'll talk about
All
that
right.
later.
She's not wearing armor
I have
now.
no idea what's going on. I lived in a temple.
So they're all entering the cabin, and I'm staying out on the deck, sitting with the shadow.
Sitting with the Shadowvar. All right.
We'll have the talk
So
later.
Ranquess is making his moment with the
Yes, you're in a
Shadowvar.
room with Merkesh together.
The rest of you begin to file calmly, but assertively into the captain's quarters.
As we're on our way in, I tell Ranquess, leave them, come with us. They'll be fine.
I will not leave them.
Take them with us? Because you need to hear this.
As you
If he
as the
wants to
assault
stay
is
outside the
deflected,
room, he can stay outside the room.
All right.
I trust you will pass along any information.
Cool.
Make sure to
Sandra's
let
in
you
there,
know.
please.
We'll let you know.
There's
I'll
no
fill you in
chain.
after.
Or
As long as you fill... Oh, yes, we could do that. As long as you fill me in after about what you were doing back at the thing.
I saw some things.
While we're throwing around caveats and quid pro quos, can you also tell us what the hell this picture's about?
What picture?
a discovery moment happening on board the
One.
Libertine.
Right. That's fine. I put it back in the bag.
No, I mean, like, I mean, I know there was a picture, but, like,
Yeah.
this doesn't look
No.
anything
No,
like
not that one.
me.
The other one.
What?
Not that one.
Okay, cabin time.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, honestly, people, I love
So
you
we
all.
put a
Shut
pin
up.
in that conversation for the moment. You follow Desandra into the captain's quarters, and now that the assault is deflected, the ride to the Elventree coast seems probably about 6 to 7 hours away, and a smooth ride, provided nothing else gets in the way.
You need to sleep.
So
As you
silly.
enter the captain's quarters and close behind you the latticed stained glass door, it closes with a shut behind you. Captain Desandra sits at a large oaken desk, and through the portal windows around this fine, polished oaken cabin, you see the listing horizon outside of the ship as the
nervous.
ship rocks and sways on its course towards the. I don't think this is part of. Yeah, there we go.
It's getting jaunty.
Yeah,
I feel like
sorry,
there
I
was a
getting
mystery we had to
nervous.
solve.
8-bit music for this scenario, as she welcomes you to sit at her desk.
Ow.
I'm certain you have many questions. They would be
Yes.
well deserved. Just please know that I'm here with the best of interest, and my mission is to bring you safely back to Elventree.
Well, who told you? Who sent you?
My commands come directly from the Hoppers, yes. More specifically, one individual.
Which one?
If you must know those details, I
Yes.
was informed by Garrick.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
Your
then,
boyfriend.
Make sure that you let him know that our debt is paid, and my commitment to him is settled.
I will make sure to pass it along, but perhaps a little more information so I could give him, a little more details would be needed.
I have nothing but time while you are on my vessel.
Well, we do thank you for the timely rescue.
How is it that we are on your vessel?
Well, I suppose a number of things have happened since we last met. As I'm sure you can imagine, the Red Plumes and Tower Guard Torn specifically were not too happy about our little escapade at the South Garrison barely a 10-day ago.
Wow.
I
It seems longer than that.
regret much of my actions, it's true, while under the charge of the Red Plumes. But you must know that my motivations transcended the orders given to me by Red Plumes. There were times when I acted under their orders against my better judgment. Rashid, however, was a tumor that must...
The knuckles
Had
on my
to be
hand just
excised.
whiten as I grip my rapier. The mention of his name.
I apologize,
hand on
Merkesh,
you.
that you became an instrument in that destruction, but it seemed mutually beneficial, and I was informed that you were the right person for the job. I was, let's say, came about this information, and in time learned for myself the connection between you two. I recognized you almost immediately when we met at the Goodroot estate. Your features, your demeanor. It took me a moment to realize that they were mirrored images of Rashid. And strangely enough, we had a visiting blacksmith who informed me that you might be interested in Rashid's whereabouts as well. I took the opportunity, and that set in course designs of my own. That ultimately led me here to the Libertine, far beyond Torrens grasp.
And I'd hate to interrupt you, as I am in your debt regarding that thing with Rashid.
Of course.
You mentioned the Goodroot estate. Now, when our friend was arrested as a shade, whatever the hell that is, we were told that the Goodroot estate was razed. Did you give that order?
I certainly did not.
Are you aware of it?
I heard murmurings, but they were well after my departure.
if you could, we would want a name as to who ordered that to be burned as...
My charge was for all activity conducted by and for and on behalf of the Red Plumes in the Hillsfar foothills. If that was an order from Hillsfar, I would have known about it. I think they were... As much as I would be happy to throw their name into the
So
dirt.
someone else ordered.
I don't believe it had anything to do with Torin or his troop.
So,
Okay, because I'm not done. I'm not done with that.
no.
No.
Like there's
It's not okay.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm
To
in the
coin a phrase.
vengeance business, but there's some vengeance to be done there.
I would say your point is fair, but I have nothing further to offer you, unfortunately.
Put a pin in that.
Well, we do thank you for your assistance, Cassandra.
Yes.
Of course.
So about this debt to Garrick.
Yes.
Well,
If you have a question, Bardling, ask it.
all right. What sort of debt is it that you had to repay to him that made you?
Don't see how it's relevant, but since we have time to
Well,
kill...
if I'm passing along a message that you filled this debt, I think I should know what it is.
What is it to you, my interest in Garrick?
Well, I'm also a Harper, an agent of the Harpers.
Fair.
So if
Know
if this
that
is-
your
As she insight
associates
checks
in
you.
the agency have spared you this day by enlisting my
did?
help.
Who this?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Who dat? I don't like this.
You got this.
No one does.
Nope.
It's a
It's a
1.
natural one, so it's a 7.
Otherwise, I don't see why my personal affairs are any business of yours.
Can I use my inspiration to re-roll that?
Yes, you can.
Oh, she's got personal affairs with
It's
Garrick.
RP combat, ladies and gentlemen.
RP combat.
21.
Cassandra just likes to get up and everything.
She reconsiders, seeing how intent you are. Is that jealousy, Madam Bard? I see in your eyes.
I'm gonna back out of this room and like
She just
You
inched
care for
quiet
him.
and rolled a natural 20 from a 1.
Is it
That's pretty
wrong to
Yeah.
care for someone?
really.
No,
Perhaps
but be
you don't
careful
know
with
about
that
feelings
one.
right now.
It was the second roll.
Garrick and I have shared many feelings
Oh.
in our
Oh, I
years
didn't-
and years together.
My bad.
Fred not, though, Madam Bard. My
Years
interest
don't-
in Garrick.
Years and years of feelings don't mean anything.
I jest. My interest in Garrick is not like yours.
Again, you still haven't answered my initial
Garrick
question.
is my brother.
Sorry. That's next.
He's my brother.
Oh,
We fell out of acquaintance some time ago. Our paths led in very different directions, as I'm sure you can see.
yes.
Are you satisfied with my response? Do tell him that after this favor, our debts are settled, and I will be making myself far from this place.
I'm gonna
Quite
Skywalker
intently.
all over the
I will
place.
find my own. I will always harbor a love for him, although different than yours, apparently.
I don't.
And
know
I
what
will
you're talking about.
find my own way.
You know that video?
But I will
It's
no
like,
longer
"Who's my
carry
brother?"
out these
And then
types of
Han,
favors, and
like,
I will no longer hold
flashes back
stead
violently to them.
on the Moon
That's
Sea.
Tamasin
Thank
right
you.
now.
I think that's fine. But I don't know what this. I don't love
Fairly.
him.
I find myself quite tired of this. It's been a long afternoon. Is there anything else that I
don't
can
know. I'm
assist you
literally
with?
clueless about
I
all
think
of
that
Our,
a few
our port
hours
of
rest
destination,
in
you,
my-
you are taking us to...
I will
Elventree?
drop you
back at
approximately
the lighthouse?
60 feet off of Elua's lighthouse. Garrick and the Harper agents have arranged for a ferry boat to carry you from there safely to the docks from which you launched.
Works
My
for me.
understanding.
I'm actively bleeding on your floor right now.
I just can't
That's
believe that you're a Harper.
Filthy.
I can't believe it. That she's not Harper.
She just said she was.
No, she said
No.
she's Garrick's sister. She's not a Harper.
Okay, I
Harper.
was gonna say.
Garrick can never
Please,
suffer me
does
that
she,
for
does
that
she think
amount
that
of
she's
time.
someone who would be a Harper? Honestly,
Cassandra
The
could
gnome
be
and I
anything
are
she wants
aligned
to
on
be.
this
What are you
one.
trying to say?
I don't think Cassandra has the nature to be a Harper.
All right.
I think
we
Neither
are
I
of you
might
very
want
need
to step
to fight
outside and have a conversation
in
about
my
what Cassandra could or could not do.
interests.
Well, I'm sure she could do many things with you, but she can't be a Harper. Is all I'm saying.
You are
Like
welcome
Ash.
to take your arguments out of my quarters.
honest to God, we're all
We'll
very
make
cranky.
landfall in
Thank you.
approximately 5 hours.
Before we go,
5 hours?
is there
Sufficient time for me.
Is
Thank you
there
very
any-
much. I've been
any-
all
anywhere
day.
for us to
Call of the
rest?
Wild.
Yes.
Really need to sleep.
Fine beats a strategic, classy,
is there,
and
is there any
subtle
ways
retreat
below decks where we
out to
can
the deck.
rest?
There is, yeah. There are cots below the deck. There's a hatch that will lead from the main deck to the
The goddess.
underbelly of the ship into the hold.
Again, we thank you, and then we leave the room.
If you do need
We leave the
anything for the
room.
rest of our journey, my crew will
I
see to
grab
it.
your arm before we leave the room. Stop pressing questions, Merkesh. It's not going to do you well.
You know what? I will give you the space. And she leaves you both in her quarters as she retreats into her chamber to retire.
So now Chyna and
a heavy-
Merkesh have been left alone in this room.
Yes.
Great. And she's holding onto my arm with her tiny hand. She's about waist height to me. So I am going to pick Chyna up by the
I'm
waist
going to kick him when he goes to pick me up.
and pick her up and put her against the wall. You can struggle all you like.
I'm going
Okay.
to kick him.
Make a grapple.
I'm going to kick him.
That is with athletics. That would be an 11.
Are you going
So
to
I'm not
attempt
very
to
grappled.
escape
Yes.
or attempt to attack?
No, I'm going to just go to kick him and say, like, what do you
Okay.
think you're
So
doing?
make an escape roll, which is athletics or acrobatics, your choice
Okay,
to escape the grapple.
acrobatics.
But beating an 11 is not that hard, right?
12.
As she
beat it.
just, as with a little foot, she just narrowly catches you in the gut, just forcing you to hold her out and dropping her hard against the wall.
We can talk. You don't need to pick me up.
Okay, so as she just kicked me in the gut, I smile and I'm like, there's a few answers. And like, I pull one of the daggers out of my boot. Not threatening with it, just I have a dagger in my hand now. There have been a few questions about you that I'd like for you and I to resolve.
The door creaks open as Desandra enters, goes over to her desk, and drops 2 trays with wooden mugs sloshing with grog onto her desk.
As she enters,
says,
I quickly put my knife away.
She says, "One last favor for you both. Just keep it quiet." She closes the door.
No,
It's not like that!
No, Jesus Christ.
And now it just got weird. I'm like, we're gonna talk this out. Now it's weird, so now you're off the hook. But it's gonna happen.
All right.
And I leave the room.
All right. I pick up both glasses. Since you
I'm
didn't
not taking the
grab
grog.
one.
I'm angry. I storm out.
I take both and I drink them both right there.
Apparently fairly upset with you. Okay.
I'm asleep. I'm bleeding a lot.
All right, let's go check on these damn Shadowvar. Actually, you know what? No, forget all that crap.
not asleep.
I'm cut up. I'm scratched. I'm
Is there
griffin
somewhere
beaked.
comfortable in that room I'm in to lie down on?
I had below decks.
There's a chair.
done.
There are
No.
chairs against the desk. There's a large
There's not
captain's
like
chair.
a little bay window area?
Honestly,
No,
it's
not-
been like
not in her-
48
A little
hours.
Not
nook.
in her receiving room. A little nook that you can curl up into
Yes.
awkwardly on your own. Okay,
Yeah, there's a drawer.
Ranquess.
I leave
As
it
this
above.
is happening in Captain Desandra's quarters, Ranquess, you reconnect with the Shadowvar on the deck. They seem shaken, but happy. And what?
Oh yeah, we can't forget about Ore.
Yes, yes. She's the administrative assistant at the proxy building. Yes, Ore. Yeah.
If I weren't like almost
I
dead.
bring her in as well, and I just
would've been-
What I just talked? I'm going to talk.
I know.
Anyone harm.
It'll happen.
We're drawing it out.
She says, "Yes, I
Damn
think I
DM.
feel certainly safer here now than I did before we met. Although your first introduction was something spectacular and yet terrifying at the same time.
It's alright to admit you liked it.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage."
He did threaten to kill her the first time he interacted with her.
Persuasion and proficient is...
He's gonna use Tides of Chaos to gain advantage on your flirting check.
That is 13.
Okay. She just kind of gives you a wry grin and she says, "Well, I look forward to hearing more about your adventures. I'm certain you have many tales to tell."
More by the day.
Like, oh, Meg's gone. Yeah. Tanson's in the room.
She just looks sheepishly at the deck.
Do you have anywhere to go?
No. No. Come to think of it, I never really thought about it until this moment. I'm just happy to be free of that awful place. I was alone there.
Don't worry, I have an idea that will help you and my people.
I'll be eager to hear it once we are rested. I'm not much for sea travel, unfortunately.
If you wish, there should be some lodgings down the road, so...
I think-
I'll speak with my friends.
I think I will take that offer. I hope we can continue our chat.
Oh, I'll be down later.
She puts a hand on your arm. Thank you, Ranquess. I do appreciate it.
So far, Ranquess
She
has
makes
more
her
game
way
than any of us.
down into the hold on her own.
Oh, are we trying to pick people up? I don't
Yes, sorry, yes.
And
Go.
then I
Jamison doesn't
talk
understand,
to
anyway.
Shadowvar, basically saying, my
Jamison's like,
friends,
"What?"
you are safe now and sober. Please explain what happened.
Okay.
How did the city fall?
As Aravale and Jarlin kind of couple up together. They don't couple up together, but they lean on each other. Colm leans on the quarterstaff. He says, yes, young men, I think we will have much to discuss. As for what we know currently, well, I suppose now's as good a time as any. And as the horizon rocks in the background and the ship continues on its course towards Elua's lighthouse, they begin to fill you in a little bit, as long as their current level of strength will allow them, as to what they were doing in the Hillsfar foothills and how their investigation mirrors your own. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. So
Stealth check on the DM line.
they begin to tell you.
I would never be the player who looked over the DM screen. That'd be weird.
He says, as far as I can speak for the group, I am their mentor. In better days, I am a little bit more useful, and I apologize I could not quite step up the way I would normally like to. But we were sent on a mission to Hillsfar. The purpose of that mission, to seek the truth regarding the fall of our beloved city in the sky.
What did you discover?
Unfortunately, not much. Our lead brought us to the Hillsfar foothills under the guise that some strange occurrences were happening here. And those occurrences were tied to what seemed to be... Yes.
I've dealt with him. Were
Dealt
there
with
more?
him now.
You spoke of a shadow resurgence.
This is the occultist perversion. Perhaps there is more to this backstory we should share. Those of us who are left from the Order sought and still seek refuge in the catacombs and mountain caverns of Netheril, where the former city of Shade was founded. They are still there. However, there were a number of us who defected. They sought a perverse version of our truth. Presumably, they found their way to Hillsfar and formed this occult. Sounds like that may be what we are speaking of. Same idea, same concept. They were led by a former mentor. I wasn't aware of his name, but it sounds like this Mistro may be a proper candidate.
There's another name we came across.
Supremus. Doesn't ring a bell to me, but who knows what odd titles these false believers take when they pervert our own faith. It does sound, however, like there's a
Being attacked by
connection
undead.
there. Unfortunately, we were set upon by agents of Torn's Red Plumes before we were able to get too far into our own investigation. Perhaps you had more luck.
I did. I actually found a base of operations as well.
You're
If-
kidding.
If you will you keep Orin safe, the human bartender? If I give you safe passage and get you to that farm to continue your investigation?
My friend, what you ask of us is a mere fraction for what you've done for us already. The least we can do is provide safe haven. Would she be amenable to our concepts?
Yes, I will speak with her.
Then we would gladly welcome another hand and a like-minded spirit.
And my friend, for now, rest. Gather your
Indeed.
strength. We will hit land soon.
Let us regroup. Thank you, Ranquess. As the rest of you find your way down below, you manage to rest off the casual rocking and an otherwise smooth ride as the boat becomes closer, draws closer to Eloa's lighthouse. Presuming that all your affairs are settled on the Libertine, you do come within about 50 feet. The early state of late evening now cresting as the sun vaults far to the west, casting a midnight blue, glistening diamond sheen over the moon sea, illuminating the treetops of Elventree and the Cormanthor forest.
Buzz, I have a question.
As
Merkesh.
you make out shadows forms on the shore side and the vaulting Elua's lighthouse in its crooked pitch and the casual spinning of the light guiding ships home. Yes, Merkesh.
The ship was approximately 6 to 7 hours away from our current destination where we have traveled. During these 6 to 7 hours that we have traveled, have we achieved a long or short rest?
You've gotten about five solid hours in the hold of the boat. So for those of you
short
who can
rest.
achieve
Yes.
short rest, who can achieve long rest in 6 hours or under, yes.
I think I can.
Half elves can't do that.
Tamasin and Chyna would be short
Yeah.
rest. For you guys, long rest for the others.
It's okay, on a short rest, all my cooldowns come
I
back.
was only taking a short rest anyways, and what I've done with the rest of the time is I have actually worked on forgery.
My D8s
I've
are
taken
hot
out
tonight.
that scroll that said
Yeah, we'll
Nistro
just
was
do
the
that.
owner, the
Right.
deed to that farm.
Yes,
That
yep.
was worth it.
And I have changed that,
Yeah,
so I am now the owner of that farm.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's just one.
I'm still short, but it's
Yeah, me too. I'm only short by 2.
Roll a deception check
my third.
with your proficiency bonus.
How many?
That is a natural 20.
Chyna,
And
Yes.
plus
Could you
my
play us a
proficiency
Song of
with
Rest?
I do have deception,
Yes, I
so
can.
That is a
Oh, that would do
25.
it.
Yep. Song of Rest.
All right.
I'm gonna play Song of Rest then for everyone.
because that makes a huge difference in the amount of hit points we gain from expending hit die.
Yes. It's and it's an extra 1.
Do you have DM's inspiration currently?
It's an extra D6.
Take
Yeah.
it.
That's helpful.
Well done.
Use
Well
a hit
done.
die to gain
As
extra
you make a
1d6
very
hit points.
very convincing forgery
Now
of
I'm
the
at
deed,
full
and
health.
now presumably, as far as anyone is concerned, are the title holder and bearer of Mistro's properties in the Hillsfar foothills. All right.
I used Song of Rest for everybody.
Song of Rest. Good. So
Everyone
take
gets an
take your
extra-
bonus.
Extra D6.
Extra
per hit.
D6.
I'm
Okay.
back to full health,
Yep.
but I
So
have no
am I.
spell slots.
I have expended 3 hit die with
3
the
hit die?
Song of
Okay.
I
Song of
expended
Rest.
2.
Okay.
But
Yep.
but on the bright
Record
side,
your hit die.
every
record
single
your
one of my
ammunition.
cooldowns is short rest. So
Yeah. I still have no spell slots,
I got the luck, I got the martial maneuvers.
so I can melee.
Feeling
a
good,
lot.
feeling refreshed.
Feeling-
Everybody,
feeling
no
fine.
no worse for wear, but a few more scrapes and bruises to add to your growing collection.
Your Shadowvar buddy, Jarlin. I'm gonna let him keep my bow,
Aw.
Gifts.
which means I'm probably gonna need another one at some point in the near future.
He says, "Thank you very much. Hopefully, a little more practice, and I'll actually be able to land one of these things in an enemy."
Well, the first thing you might want to try is pulling back the bowstring while there is an arrow in your hand.
Thank you for
Like
this
you
tip.
ever did anything.
In light of your gracious gift, I'll
I hit
allow you
Ranquess
this
when he
cut
says
and
that.
jab.
I'm spellless. Magicless cleric.
All right, coming back in. Ilua's landing looks even more welcoming now than it did when you first launched from her docks to Hillsfar barely a 10-day ago. In the light of late evening now or early evening, you see the Soul dock stretching from the rocky outcropping and drifting to meet the moon sea. Beyond the emerald green of the sun-soaked grass, previously sun-soaked grass, I obviously wrote this thinking it would be daytime. You make out the silhouettes of several mounted armsmen awaiting your arrival. The ferry boat rocks lazily as it brings you to the last few feet off the water and to the old creaking wooden dock floating atop
The mounted
moon sea.
armsmen don't happen to have red plumes on their helmets, do they?
Sorry?
The armsmen that are mounted, they don't have red plumes on their helmets, do they?
No, they don't.
Are
In
they
fact, as
elves?
you draw closer, you
Because
recognize...
I was about to go man the swivel gun. Like,
Not necessary this time. You're
Wait.
calm as the hulking frame of Garrick blots in the late
Chyna,
daylight.
your boyfriend's
The
here.
silhouette holding a standard of the Harpers in a holster on his horse side. He's flanked by several Aquelar from the Elventree who serve as your
he's got a
reception
standard
party.
Harper subtle.
They meet you with fresh horses, and within a few moments they tie you and your wares to their mounts and get you situated.
I obviously say something before that all happens.
Let's begin to get you situated on the shore side.
Can I just one quick second?
Sure.
For anyone who had temporary hit points last until you've completed a long rest.
Oh.
So if you did a short rest, your
But
temporary hit
unless-
points are still there.
But if we use them already,
So we'll say for
But
the
if you
next
haven't.
couple of hours.
I'm just saying for
I
rule
definitely
clarification
gone.
kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So you still have your temporary hit points from the rally.
Thank
you.
Something in me knew that I would see your faces again. Something in me knew that you would return to give me more trouble. Although I wasn't certain, there were times when I was worried. He lingers on you a moment. I am very happy to see you all in good health. And presumably with the proposed company.
Yes.
8 hours.
We do
Would you
think-
consider the mission a success then?
I would say so.
Yes.
And we are in the company of your Shadowvar friends.
Yeah.
And they have no idea who it was that sprung them.
I am Garrick Duloc, leader and chief strategist of the Elventree militia. It is my pleasure to welcome you ashore. New friends. We've gone to great lengths to assist our companions here in your retrieval, although I would never aim to thwart the gratitude that they are surely due. Let me not get ahead of myself. We have an anxious party waiting for us in the House of the Harp. They eagerly are looking for a debrief. We have much to discuss, and this mission is far from closed.
Well, yes, it's better to talk in private back at Elventree, I'd say.
And I could use a little more of Emmeric's cooking.
Well, we can certainly see that done.
Talking.
Pardon? Talk. Yes, I say.
I trust you're in well enough shape to make the ride back to Elventree.
Yes.
Yes.
Then let us begin. The time is wasting. And they begin to turn their mounts into the foot ride.
Ouch.
As you are, roll a perception check for me, Chyna.
All right.
Jana spells talking INTERCORUS.
As you, your keen senses are not so aloof in Garrick's presence that you fail to notice an opportunity to perform. And you see these postings, you've noticed them on the way, that seem to herald some kind of contest, a festival of music, a festival of arts. Dotting the foot,
Elventree,
the
battle
foot.
for bands.
Rock out with your nope.
Don't have one
Rock
of
out
those.
with your appropriate language for the
As
stream.
you snatch one of these notices
Yes.
off a post as you begin to ride, and the group begins a casual gait through the long foothill grass into the forest coverage of Elventree, and fairly soon you're lost in the woods that surround you of the Cormanthor Forest, but you're now familiar with it. And again, as Elventree has that power to just surround you before even knowing it, you crest into the welcoming emerald green carpeting of Elventree, now dark with night,
Time is
a slight
space.
chill in the air as you begin to ride in a casual trot towards the House of the Harp. Chyna, the notice that you pull as you look at it more closely in great big scorched font on this old parchment says, Anduin Icon, the search for Faerun's brightest star.
Wait, and doing.
Andouin.
What was it again?
Anduin Icon, the search for Faerun's brightest star.
And doing icon.
More information to come.
Oh.
Oh, dear.
Does it
Hear
look-
ye bards and tale spinners of Hillsfar. Ready your best. And that's
me.
it.
I'm the best. Do you guys see this? I show them.
Clearly, you're obviously the best.
Do you see?
You do.
I'm a fan, Jina.
Thank you. Everyone is.
So humble.
Well,
Does it
can't
say where
She's
it
so
is
humble,
on
too.
it at all?
Just says Hillsfar region.
Hillsfall region.
More information to come.
It better not be one of those humans-only contests.
Well, if you want to, whatever, I'll disguise myself as a human and win. It's fine. It's like Robin Hood.
Who?
As
It's a story I made up. He's great.
as you
I'm
crest
so
into the
confused
now
all the time.
familiar setting of the
That's Tamasin.
Elventree receiving area, again, just
actually very
the
smart.
random elves sitting in
Very
trees,
wise.
just kind of observing
Yes.
you. A couple of them nod now; they're a little bit
pretty
more
smart,
familiar to you. Stories of your undertaking have traveled not necessarily far, but certainly near, as you as you make your way towards the House of the Harp. Garrick dismounts and begins to tie his horse up more just outside the door, and he says, Champions, I know you are weary. Your road has been long. I will appreciate it if you need some time. However, I would strongly recommend we check in with the Circle. At least Tilrad and I would like to debrief with you before you take further steps. May I be so bold as to make that type of request?
Of course.
As long as Emmeric's cooking, I'm down.
Well, as long as you're around.
Fantastic.
You helped
I
us
believe
up
we can
enough.
find a beast
I think
roasting
we
on
can
the
spare
spittle
a few
just for you.
moments.
If I remember correctly, you've got
As
quite a
long as-
penchant
as
for
long as you're
suckling
around.
pig.
I do. I still have a couple pieces of pork stuck in my mouth, but it's okay.
He claps you squarely on the shoulder. He says, "A good man. I enjoy a good man with a strong arm and a healthy appetite."
Oh,
Then
he's
let
a
us
healthy
go.
appetite.
He's a,
I also have a healthy
He looks at you for a
appetite.
moment and realizes what he says. Just not to confuse. I mean, look, we have business to attend to.
course.
Let's go. And he makes his way
All sorts of
into
business.
as
How
the
come it
as the
keeps getting
shimmering
Sword both ways.
as the shimmering mist
Different types of
of
appetite.
Shalair begins to form in front of you.
Aw, Sean.
Harper, agents, welcome back. I knew we would see you.
I've been-
Jaina,
Yes.
thank you for staying in touch.
course.
I enjoy our chats, I really do. Well, I can see you're in good company with
My
Garrick,
good bard now.
Hilrad, and the rest of the 9 await you. See yourselves down below,
Oh, we're going through
champions.
the weird elevator again.
Hey,
So you make your
Shala.
way-
Wait.
Yep.
And I show her the notice, and I'm, look it. If,
Oh
if you were
my.
alive, you could do this.
I enjoy our chats as well.
She just kind of stops and stares.
Like she's undead, but that was cold.
She says, I've earned many
now.
badges
Sorry.
in my waking hours on Faerun. Perhaps it's time for you to spin your own legacy, and maybe one day you too can end up just like me.
Oh, wonderful. But I do like our chats.
Well, I'll be waiting for you on the other side.
Great.
And she disappears. As you make your way in through the stone hallways, through the illusory wall, into the receiving room towards the painting of the bard,
I once again try and string the painting before she does it.
you hear a voice, "Practice makes perfect, Merkesh," as her spectral hand appears and strums the painted harp
I do
in
not let
the-
her hand touch me.
It's beautiful.
in the painting.
Don't.
The painting shimmers up. You guys enter the cylindrical lift. Again, that
Elventree.
uneasy feeling as your
Elventree.
stomach rises into your throat and you land down in the common area.
Lordy.
And
Wait, everyone's good? Press-
Yeah, good. No, fine.
We're looking
No
okay.
vomit.
I'll take some.
Vomit free.
I'm vomit free, but just, make me look nice.
Ranquess continues with
I'm
his
fine.
arcane
Thank
dry
you.
cleaning, making you all look sharp, smelling clean, looking nice. It is a bit of a shock to the Shadowvar and to Ore, though, who've not made this this journey with you before. But they seem to trust you, and they're just kind of keeping to their own. They're not entirely sure what they're in for, and they're more than happy to let you do the talking
That's
and
right,
leading
these
this
people are
pursuit.
nice. We like them.
Or grab her hand and say, "Stay behind me."
With a trembling, feminine grip, she holds it as tightly as she can. It seems weak, but intent.
So we're in the room with the.
As you pass through the regular, yes. So you the doors open into the common room. Again, your senses, especially Merkesh, your nostrils are filled with the sweet roasted scent of suckling pig. As the fire in the great hearth continues to cackle and spit, as this great beast rotates on its axis. The regular commotion of the House of the Harp's common halls continue as you remember. Business as usual here. A flurry of various races enter and exit from wood plank doors at either sides, hurrying about to and fro. But as you open the large double doors of the council chamber, you're greeted by a different welcome. Almost in unison, the entire council, or those who are currently in attendance, stand. They offer you a deep bow. As they rise, they begin a cordial round of applause for the safe arrival of their new champions.
Yes.
Drin is noticeably absent, having remained in Hillsfar to see to the affairs of Leerlin's order. And report is needed on city activity following the extraction of the prisoners. But Leon exchanges excited words with you. I knew you'd be back.
Oh, Lee.
So happy to see you.
You stay out of trouble, Leon.
Do you
As
have a
far
shirt
as I
on
can
now?
tell. Pardon me.
You were shirtless when I saw you last.
Oh no, fully clothed now. Thank you. It does get cold in the Elventree nights. Appreciated by all, I'm sure. He looks sheepish. And he takes his place amongst the other now liberated Shadowvar on the great oaken table with the finely etched harp decorating and adorning the center. Garrick calls the room to order. We'll begin our debriefing. Our champions are certainly tired and they've earned their rest. We'll try to hold you as shortly as possible. He commends you on rescuing the Shadowvar. And Hilrad stands and addresses the Shadowvar directly. He expresses his relief that the mission was a success and hopes that this will help solidify their relationship with the Shadowvar and the Shade Enclave. Colm speaks for the Shadowvar. He stands. I must commit that we would not be standing here before you with as much gratitude if it wasn't for the efforts of our brother, Ranquess, and his friends. They accepted the risks involved and charged deep into the belly of a beast that they did not know. For that, we can never fully thank them.
I got it in my mouth.
For the first time, he speaks to their mission to uncover the conspiracy that led to bringing Thultanthar crashing from the sky. He requests a follow-up meeting with Hilrad, which Hilrad graciously accepts, and they invite Ranquess and anyone else in the party who wants to return to discuss the details of the investigation and the conspiracy that purportedly existed.
I'd be interested.
Agreed.
To go over the particulars of the finding.
Do we, are they going to tell us what a shade is at this meeting? Because if they are, I want to go.
We will be certain to share with you as much as we can, if you are so interested. We need friends. If you wish to hear our story, you can bring food anywhere you like.
Fantastic.
Garrett concludes after a brief chat around the table. If there's anything else, champions, that you wish of us, can we fill in any blanks?
No.
Are we accord
I
at
would
this
like
moment?
to talk with you privately if we have a moment.
I can make that
Oh yeah,
available,
no. Chyna unearthed some very critical information she needs to share with Garrick exclusively. Just so you guys are aware, there is now access from the water to Hillsfar, as we tore open a grate, so there is access through the sewers to get into the city.
Would not recommend taking that access and going through the sewers.
Why
what
not?
reasons?
You do.
Oh yes, we have to talk.
Oh,
We're aware that your exit from Hillsfar was not exactly as graceful as your entry, but was there a particular reason we should avoid this pursuit? The twins have been dispatched to follow up.
yeah, what are you talking about?
What do you know of the systems under the sewers?
Nothing that you have not yet told us. The only thing we know, we only know of the existence of the Great at all because Tyree and T-Yun were able to find it below the depths. We don't know any more than that.
What are you talking about, Ranquess?
Is there something we should be
Yes.
I'm
investigating?
talking about the blood fountain.
Oh, yes. The blood
Stupid
fountain.
blood fountain didn't do anything.
Hilrad strokes his great gray beard.
I solved the riddle of the blood fountain.
Seriously, we
Okay,
stared
did
at
you,
that
what,
for
you
like
kicked
15
it,
minutes.
kicked it
and
from the
couldn't
side?
finish it.
Like what? I kicked it like 3 times.
I added my own blood.
Tell me about this blood fountain you speak of.
It had ancient statues
Adding
Elf
your own
blood.
blood.
and strong, thick chain.
You know, we had you there.
And it had writing that said, "The blood
Weird,
of your
isn't it?
of our ancestors is the key."
Weird elf blood.
He exchanges a concerned glance with Garrick, and he says, "Tell me of these statues.
I did
Were
not
they
take
marked?
a good look at the statues, but I added my blood to the pool, and in doing so, it opened the door. There is a chamber below this with a full blood well and a blood waterfall.
Would this have anything to do with the very loud noise and the very cold, bad feeling we all had?
It may.
Is that why you guys?
Nori,
showed up, like,
see our guests well attended to and see them comfortably. We will discuss this further, and we will fetch you new friends to discuss the conspiracy amongst the Shadowvar." And he addresses Colm, Aravel, and Jarlin, and Ore, and they seem more than happy to go out to the common room with their new escorts as they close the doors behind them. This tribute you found. What type of statues were they? Human, bestial,
elven.
demon?
Elves.
They were elves.
They were elves.
2 elves
What did
holding.
they look like?
There was a male and a female. There was a male and a female elf dressed up in some kind of ceremonial robe, like some kind of guardsman or
They had
something.
chains running through them.
And they had.
As well, did they not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me of the
Chains
armor.
went back through the shield.
Fine, roll a history check with advantage for me.
History with advantage.
Advantage means roll twice.
Roll again. Yeah. It'd be hard pressed to get better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. History. Oh, 18.
And with a pang, you realize that the statues mirrored the ancient Myth Draenor reliefs that you saw in the ritual chamber in the Hillsfar foothills. So you can recall that they were carvings of ancient Myth Draenor soldiers. Or ancient Myth Draenor likenesses, we'll say. They were robed figures.
Wait,
That's why that
so
looks so familiar.
you're saying you opened the door
Myth
on
Draenor.
a cell that was locked by elves?
This is ominous
inside?
indeed. If this was ancient magic dating back to the time when Myth Draenor occupied Hillsfar, it predates, I would imagine, most of us in this room, our ages combined. This is deep,
What did you find
dark
down
sanction.
there? Other
The
than
river that ran with pure blood, never ending. Bones strewn everywhere. Powerful magic surrounding the room.
and anything alive?
Not
I
alive.
wouldn't say alive.
Was this vessel left open when you left?
Yes, there was no way to close it. We barely escaped with our lives.
You'll excuse me, Garrick. I certainly must do some research on this.
I
We'll
also
want to
have
know
this vial
what's
of
buried.
blood from the pool, if that will help.
It certainly will. You should remit that to me immediately.
Yes.
No.
If my suspicions are correct, even being in possession of that could have dire consequences.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Give it away, give it away!
Give it. Oh yeah, give it
away,
him.
give
Give
it away
it him.
now.
He holds open a tattered burlap sheaf of material and he beckons you to put it in the middle.
water skin of ancestral blood. Is
He
placed
wraps
inside.
up the tarp, he waves his hand over it, he whispers a couple of words. He says, I will away. Find me, we'll follow up the conversation with your friends. We will make time for that, but this requires my immediate attention.
Please let me know your findings.
You'll excuse me. And he hurriedly leaves the
So
room.
you didn't kill it?
No.
Sorry, who was that?
I think
Hilrad.
they made the
Hilrad.
right choice leaving, or they wouldn't be here, if I'm correct.
When you say not alive, do you mean an undead construct or
When I entered the chamber, the powerful magic swirled around the room, and a body came back to life.
Like a skeleton?
Not just a skeleton, it contained powerful magic. Magic I've never seen.
Oh,
that's
bad.
intensely disturbing?
He created a blizzard just around me. Powerful magic.
How on earth did the two of you survive that?
I blacked out at the very end.
I carried him to safety.
Out of the hole?
This undead creature, it was powerful old magic that I've never seen before. Fawn and I tried to destroy some crystals that were exuding magic in the chamber, but unfortunately it did nothing to the beast.
And you weren't able to shut the gates?
No.
So
I'm
We
very
barely
close, you ran
escaped.
off
We
and practically
barely
died.
escaped the chamber with use of powerful magic of my own. Apparently, the Great Shade saw fit to grant me the power to levitate and get out of the chamber.
like when you get big.
Similar.
Oh.
I take a nice big bite out of the haunch of whatever kind of animal it is that I'm eating, and I'm like, sounds like Hillsfar's problem now.
Garrick looks.
I would
Or it
agree,
could be
but this is
ours
why
for
I
a very
would
long
highly
time.
recommend not to use the passageway through the sewers.
They are too close for us to presume that anything of this deep in effect will not reach far beyond the walls of Hillsfar.
Not to mention, that section of the sewer leads directly up into the second level, which is where Lyrlin's Round is, and the Tower Whimsy.
So wait a second. So you're saying this is lost? Like we gotta go back?
No.
No.
We're just. It's
I'm
good
just-
we notify people.
Well, at least
Probably-
not for some time until we build better offensive.
But it might be
and
prudent
defensive
of us to
abilities.
warn our allies who are within close proximity that this could
Well, that's what we're
Be
doing,
nearby.
basically.
So those
We
crystals-
must get a message to Drin,
to Drin.
just to be weary.
Yes.
Watch the door.
So, Garrick, is that possible to get a message to Drin?
Absolutely, I'll do it immediately.
Oh,
Tell him to
so
include
tell him I
Ginger
said
of
hey.
Earth. Please.
I'll send your thanks.
Ginger of Earth, Tower Whimsy. Tell him to include him. He would also be in danger.
I will. Hilrad will be thankful to know that you made contact with Jinjin. These are very dear friends to us. We owe it to them to make sure that they are informed.
They helped us a great
prepared.
deal.
And
we
to
wouldn't
Ariane,
want
of
any harm
course.
to befall them.
The
Let us
lady, the
not
lady from the
let-
Vault of Swords.
Let us not let our
Ainsley.
victory be
Ainsley.
completely
her too.
muted by this
No, of course
revelation.
not.
Shasa will want to speak with you. She wished to be here, but she is attending to other important business in the Silver Shadow
Yes, of
Cave.
course.
I will consider this, Chyna. I will
Yes.
take your acquaintance.
Well-
In the meantime, I'll have Hilrad contact you in the Shadowvar when they're ready to continue the discussion.
Thank you.
Zahn speaks up from the corner. He says, I would like to speak with this youngling you brought back from Hillsfar. I would be interested to hear of her experiences within the city walls. Is that amenable?
As long as I am present, I'm sure I can.
Certainly. I will
Let her
entertain
tell
her
her
at the
story.
house of, or the halls of the Unicorn among our disciples of Meliki. She will be safe there and well cared for.
Thank you.
He exits and he just goes out to introduce himself to the others. And with that, Garrick begins to recover his equipment. He looks at you and nods. He says, well then,
That's a signal.
I'll linger behind with
Yes.
Chyna.
Oh, I know.
The rest of you, please, find yourselves always at home in Elventree. We are preparing a feast and celebration tonight, so let us focus on enjoying this victory and celebrating you,
Yes.
our champions.
Thank you.
You know where to find us in the meantime. We'll set this up in the trade landing as the last of the merchants begin to take their leave from Elventree. Their business here is closed. Few of them still remain, but we'll have that space more or less to ourselves with a few of their more colorful fellows. It should be a good time, and certainly well deserved.
About
We'll
what
see
time
you.
would that begin? How much time do you have?
A few hours.
Very well.
As Saloon begins her first dance across the night sky, so soon will we begin ours. Not across the sky, of course.
We can dance whenever you
See, our
want.
humor is not entirely dashed. Travel well, champions. We'll see you within the hours.
I exit and go follow Ore, and
Okay.
we're going to the halls of the unicorn, I guess.
Fair enough. Merkesh?
Halls of the
In
Unicorn.
the hours that follow,
I'm
what's your
staying,
plan?
obviously.
I mean,
John's going to stay and talk to Gary
I guess I'm getting ready for the feast by pre-feasting.
by pre-feasting?
Out
in the common room
It's
with some,
okay. If you're gonna win an
succulent
eating
pig?
competition, it's important to stay in shape.
That's true. You got to get the juices running
that's right.
early.
That's
Fair enough. Patting your stomach with some suckling pig.
I'm
Tams?
going to go find Shasa at the Hall of the Shadow Hall.
Silver Shadow Cave?
That's one.
Temple of
Shadow
Saloon.
Civil something.
Cash, is there 100 gold? 150 gold piece?
Yeah. I will deduct the gold from
Very well.
our account. Then
Thank you very much.
I grab a bag of coins and I go, here you go.
Great.
Tossing
I will
fine
head
Hondo
over
Fitty.
to my friend Sweetwater.
Okay.
Although in subsequent forays that we would take, next time perhaps we should hit the treasury as well. Just saying.
We need a quote bot for shit like subsequent. That's how I'm saying that from now on.
I like subsequent.
Merkesh melding beautifully into the role of
Merkesh
treasure.
knows big words, okay? He may say them,
Just
Not how to say
Table.
them properly, but
he
he
may
knows
say
them.
them incorrectly
I will go around the table
and
starting
not
with-
know what they mean.
Starting with Chyna.
What?
Garrett closes the door behind them,
Yes.
and he takes a seat. He says,
Parental advisory.
Yes, Chyna.
Parental advisory.
It's fine. Well, very glad to see you. I've been thinking about you while we've been away. Did Shala pass my messages along to you?
She did. She was integral in keeping the lines of communication open between not only you and I, but with the Harpers and our operation on the inside.
Well, that's excellent. I'm glad she did that. How have you been?
Stressed, but well practiced. I've managed to keep myself occupied with battle readiness and preparing for your return. All of your return, of course.
Of course. Securing the waterways was an excellent idea. I do have a message to pass on to you, though.
I can imagine.
Dissandra is your sister.
She told you this.
Well, I pressed her. We have encountered her before. I'd say
share
in
a
interesting
lineage.
light of things.
We share a lineage, nothing more.
How do two people grow so separately and different apart from one another?
Desandra and I share completely different values. years, she always followed a path of power and least resistance. I feel that in our upbringing, she always felt as though she had far more to prove than I did. Our parents valued might, prowess in the field of combat, and while she accumulated much of her own, she was far later to the festivities than I was. I suppose I was gifted in that regard, although for most of my life I considered it a curse. It strained our relationship greatly.
Well, don't worry about it.
Sometimes I do worry about her.
She told me she was going to leave.
I imagine she will.
And she also said your debt is settled.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
It's a 7.
She says, well, she's brought you safely back to me. Again, he checks himself. All of you, of course. Yes, I imagine that our debts are settled. I'm glad to see you well and in good spirits. Otherwise, yes, I would imagine her debts are settled. And as I said, I'm glad to see you well and returned.
I'm glad to see you well as well.
Is there anything else then I can do for you? You must prepare.
I go in closer. I put an arm on him.
He towers over you
Yes.
mightily
Yes.
and looks.
I stand on a chair.
You jump up on a chair. Make an acrobatics check just for color.
Tiny. That's 19.
You deftly leap up gracefully on the chair, and now you are a mere half foot below him, your forehead meeting his jaw.
Excellent. That's perfect.
Chyna,
Yes.
we must be careful. Our commitments do not allow people in our position to seek this comfort.
Everyone needs some comfort sometimes, though, do they not?
I don't know what you expect of me, Chyna.
I lean in. I put a hand on his face.
And we'll pause it there.
And
Tamasin, as you make your way into the cold night air on your own for the first time in about a 10-day and
where
change,
are you going?
the cold air whips your hair as you step out into the soft green carpeting, the Elventree landing. You make your way to the Silver Shadow Cave without too much difficulty. You stand outside of it. As you make your way into between the cold stone arches of the Silver Shadow Cave, there's a nearly solemn yet calming air in the Silver Shadow Cave as the outreaching statue that pays homage to the prestige and beauty of Saloon reaches high towards the star-like holes that are punched in the cave ceiling. Shasa greets you with a growing smile, and the round within the cave temple is flanked with sisters donning the moon goddess's arraignments. Your attention quickly turns from them, however, as you're suddenly aware of the creased, kind, and comforting face of your mother figure, and the first person to show you upbringing and sanctuary. Though her outstretched dwarven arms are small in this moment, they seem like they could embrace the entire world. As Barda barely manages to find words through her own emotions.
My
Tammy!
chill.
My Tammy!
Barda, I've missed you so much. You have no idea.
And are you, my love? She welcomes you. She waits for you to
I
mirror
can't
her
believe you're
embrace.
actually here. I was hoping so much you would be here when I came back. I have so much to tell you. You have no idea the things I've seen and done.
I can
and the
only
people I've
imagine.
met.
I came as soon as I heard. Sister Shasta sent for me about 5 days ago. I came as quickly as I could. My only regret is that I missed you.
I missed you too.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
I can't wait for you to meet the people I've met, my friends. They're wonderful. You have no idea.
I want to hear all about it, and I can't wait to meet your friends as well. Shasta steps in and kind of gives Barda an emotional reprieve as she invites you to join her and the sisters around the shrine. She says, "An endearing reunion, for certain. And I do not want to interrupt, sisters, but we do have important business to discuss as well. Tamasin, please join us." The sisters kind of sit in the round on these low, carved white marble seats in the round, circling just on the side of this statue to Saloon. "First of all, sister, before we begin," she exchanges a calming look with Barda. Barda changes her visage a little into one of more serious tone. "Tell us, these visions that initially begat our first conversation, was there anything further that you experienced while you were away?"
The first night we were gone, once we infiltrated the gates, I had a terrible vision. Terrible. It was the worst I've ever had. One of having my life sucked out of me completely against my will, and I don't know who the perpetrators were, and I thought it may have been a warning, but we saw nothing of the like in Hillsfar that could have done anything, or at least nothing we encountered. And then, after that, when we were escaping, I had a peculiar... Well, it wasn't a vision. It was more as though I went away. I was fighting, and there were so many things happening, and my friends were hurt, and there were griffins, and I was getting panicked, and
Calm,
as I
child.
panicked...
She puts an arm on your forearm to calm you. Take your time.
As the panic grew, and I knew my magic was almost gone, and I can't do anything when I don't have my magic, something happened, and I felt as though I left, and something else took my place and moved my body like it was theirs, but it wasn't frightening. I wasn't frightened. It felt fine. And then I came back, but I remember it as though I watched someone else do it. Moves that I've seen my friends do, but that I've never been able to accomplish, and I don't understand where it came
Had
from.
this happened before? Barda chimes in.
No, Barda never.
They look at each other. Shasa nods at Barda. "Very well. Thank you. All the details are important. Tamasin, we feel that you have a rare gift. We feel that you have an attunement to Saloon that only a very small portion of sisters report. Your visions manifest in two different categories that we've seen. They become more or less reliable the longer and further you are away from Saloon's direct care. Does this sound like something that you've experienced?"
Yes.
These two manifestations are as follows. Visions. The visions can be clairvoyant in nature from our studies. They can show you potential outcomes or results of specific choices. And while the gods don't directly attempt to influence or intercede in these choices, they are important. The unfortunate second are the nightmares and terrors that you have been experiencing. These are an unfortunate side effect of an affinity as darker and more sinister powers attempt to hijack the signal. They attempt to use this opening and this conduit to our goddess for their own dark purposes. We believe these are the terrors that you've been experiencing. They're often difficult to discern from visions, which makes them all the more dangerous. It is our belief so far that these visions mean you have an open conduit, and because of this, other anomalies may also be trying to connect with you.
But why me? I didn't even choose this. I was dropped off at the temple as a child.
We don't choose these gifts, love. Saloon has certainly chosen you for a reason. We believe that the other conduit is trying to approach you from the prime material plane. And perhaps this is where I should turn it over to Barda. Barda just nods and looks to you. Look, Tammy, you are mine. And no matter what, you'll always be mine. But I think you're strong and old enough now to know a little bit more about yourself that I can share. As you know, there are significant parts of your upbringing that are mystery to you. Not so much to me, while I don't know much myself. But Tamasin, when you were brought to me and the sisters, you were left in our care by an anxious young woman, a mother. This woman was haunted, Tamasin. She was escaping sour demons she wouldn't even speak of to me. She felt it best for you that not only you don't know, but I never find out. And it has been my charge ever since to ensure that that secret has been kept safe. This is the bulk of what I know, Tamasin, but Shasa reassures her. This woman assured me only that she offered the same care and secrecy to all her children.
I have siblings? Do you know what? A brother, sister, anything? Do you know anything?
She kept the specifics to keep you safe and us, all the sisters.
How do I find them?
Child, that is where our investigation leads. The next step is for us to attempt to find those connections and deliver them to you. There is a way that we can attempt to make that connection and through you discover these connections. She looks at Barda. It's not without risk. But there's a ritual that we can prepare and have prepared to send you closer to Saloon. And in that experience, we can monitor what you see. Know that you will be in the greatest of care, and we will guard you closely. But there is a chance that if things go wrong, your soul could be left in the Aether and unretrievable. But not while we are here. If you are amenable, we will see you into this journey.
And if I do this, I could get answers about who I am.
We don't know what the goddess will show us, but presumably a more clear path.
When?
Perhaps the answers you seek.
When would this happen?
Barda looks at Shasa. Dear, we're prepared to send you as soon as you are ready. We've been waiting only for you.
All right. Do you mind if I just go see my friends briefly and come back? Just in case. Not to say goodbye, just in case.
Of course. The time is sensitive, child, though. Do be quick.
I'll be fast. I promise.
We will prepare the chamber.
All right.
As they release you. And they prepare the ritual. Fine. As you exit the House of the Harp into also the cold night air, Tamasin having a reasonable lead ahead of you, Admiral Sweetwater is already there and waiting. Faerun! Welcome back, friend.
Thank you. Good to be back.
I have news for you. I know you've been through a lot, but if you can spare me some time,
Sure.
I simply must show you something.
All right. I'm intrigued.
Excellent. With me, then. And he jaunts off towards the Gold Cave, which is not far from the Silver Shadow Cave as well. And he leads you towards the mouth of the Gold Cave, very excitedly turning and beckoning you to follow urgently as he guides you into the old cave, the trade station, the only real trade environment in Elventree. He gathers you and guides you through the gold cave, out a back entrance into an open field where there are stuffed likenesses of humanoid forms and targets stuffed with hay on old logs. It seems to be a training testing area. And the light that spills in here is shed by crackling orange torches, but still enjoying some luminance from the fading light of day that illuminates this small field. And in the middle is a small dais with a long object and a cream-colored linen draped over the top. He stands before the raised dais, and he calls you over. First of all, thank you for the pleasure of working with that magnificent goldwood.
You are able to repair it?
No. But I feel we've done better. I hope you'll forgive me my liberty. I was able to pull together as much goldwood as I could, and it took me the better part of the 10-day. With it, we were able to fashion what I feel is my best craft yet. I know you like a sturdy staff, slightly shorter than your own height. We managed to find enough to create a lumber and lathe this incredible staff. While we weren't able to fix the goldwood flute, I was able to surgically cut into the center and create two identical pieces. And he catches himself. He's like, I'm celebrating my own craftsmanship. Perhaps I should just show you. And he pulls the drape off this cradled ornamental staff. As the soft white silks fall to the ground, Amaryl steps away from the stand to allow you to review his creation. You've never laid eyes on such an exquisite piece. The subtle radiance of the custom-cut goldwood staff sparks a sense of awe in you. Intricate elven script runs up and down the length of the haft, and you notice that on either end, a clean, reworked section of the goldenwood flute protrudes just lightly out from the ends. This was Faerun's most cherished gift to you. It's mounted protruding ever slightly from the ends, and you suddenly become oblivious to everything else around you, as the stunning weapon seems to beckon you closer. Amaryl anxiously trades his gaze from you to the staff, back to you again, biting his lip. He's just waiting hesitantly.
It is magnificent.
Thanks.
It is more than I knew possible. How did you even... what inspired such...
I don't know. I was thinking of your story, and I know your parents. They told me about your relationship with Faerun and his unfortunate fate. I thought perhaps we can affect you with something that'll help you not only create a better experience for yourself, but maybe seek a little bit of recompense for Faerun's unfortunate path.
On behalf of both of us, I thank you. I'm sure I will... I am speechless.
Oh, it's nothing. Go pick it up. Pick it up. Go ahead.
This is beautiful, beautiful work.
As you pick it up, vibration courses through your arm, but you quickly become used to it. It's far lighter than it should be and solid like hard-tempered steel. As you casually spin it around, the whistle sections at either end emanate a soft, low hum. It beckons memories of Faerun to you, and they become present as you wield it, strengthening your connection to the staff. We called it Faerun's memory, but of course, whatever you call it after this is up to you. However, in the crafting of the staff, I worked with some acolytes from the Akvalar, and they noticed a resonance that I am not tuned into. We worked together, and we found that the magic that emanated from the goldenwood whistles, coursed through the entire staff. And, well, we were hoping we could test something with you.
Okay.
May I? And he holds his hands out gingerly.
Sure.
He takes the golden wood staff in his hand. He gives it a casual spin to show you that he has some efficient ability with it. And he spins and quickly launches it down the length of the field. It flies, spinning about 20 yards, 30 yards, and slowly dives down to the grass. Gloomf, gloomf, awkwardly, end over an end, and coming to a rest 30 feet away. He looks at you. He runs down the field, picks it up, runs it back to you, and he hands it over to you. He says, "You try." And he just looks down the field.
And I sort of spin it like helicopter spin, I guess, like
Okay.
he just did.
As you feel it lightly and gently and gracefully exit your grasp, it spins in an arc down the field towards the end of its journey, some 30 feet away. But this time, instead of falling towards the ground, it catches air, banks, and curls back to you. As you catch it out of the cold night air. I knew it! I knew it!
That's awesome.
Incredible! This confirms Amaril's belief that the staff, through the bind of the whistle, is bound to you. And it will always return. He further shares that they believe there's more potential to be unlocked in the staff yet through the power of the twin whistles at either end. His only request to you is that you use it well and bring it back to him after you've had adequate time to really test it thoroughly. There's more that I want to learn about this. It's truly a swan song for me, and I would be honored if you'd let me continue the journey with you. There are often times that we've seen in this type of craft where a bonded weapon or some other conduit of power will augment something like this. So I'd just want to know how it goes.
Oh, for sure. In some small way, I feel like you've given me Faerun back, and I appreciate that. I will definitely keep you abreast of my exploits. And if I may, any future weaponry needed, supplies, if I may, you have my business forever.
I look forward to a long partnership, and may this and Theron's memory protect you.
I look forward to it as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'll
Thank
inform
you
the
so-
acolytes. They'll be happy to know that our theories were true.
Yes. Well, I believe I owe you some gold pieces at the very least, as promised.
Just bring this one back to me, and I'll consider all debts repaid.
Very well.
Stay safe, Theron. I mean, fine.
To us both.
I've been working on this thing for a lot of days. I do
no
feel
worries.
like I know you both. Carry on. I bet you have a party to attend.
Yes.
Perhaps I'll see you there.
Very well. I'll see you then, friend.
Of course. He's just beaming as you leave the gold cave and re-enter back into the Elventree welcoming. Ranquess. You go out to the common room. You reconnect with your compatriots, the Shadowvar, your new brethren or existing brethren. I'm going to do a quick round of the table, and then we'll come back to the Shadowvar meeting when everybody comes back in. But in the meantime, what would you like to do?
And as I said, I'm going to the Hall of the Unicorns with Ore because they wish to hear her story, and I'm interested in it as well.
Very good. As you trail up the long arching branches, the walkways that are created betwixt the reaching boughs and branches of these ancient oak trees that form the platforms and villas of Elventree, the approach to the halls of the unicorn open up in a grand weaving archway before you, as Zon leads you and Ore into the mystical, magical, organic fountains, these vaulting, lush, exotic fauna that flanks this beautiful, cascading, crystal clean waterway amid some middle fountain. You see Dottie and Whittle nod as Zook buzzes in his golden trail in the halls of the unicorn. And you also see Constance Goodroot, who seems to have more than made her peace among the ranks of Maliki. She seems to be training with other acolytes. She's now dressed like them. She looks happy, and she passes you with an exchange of
I
casual,
give them
friendly
all,
words.
the smile nod.
As Zon leads you through, he gives Ore a brief kind of breakdown on the history of Maliki and what they do and how the forest goddess binds all life amongst them. And he finds a nice low seating with some cut logs, passes around a decanter of wine and some fine crystal glasses. He says, Ore, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the halls of the Unicorn. Thank you, Ranquess, for allowing us this attendance.
Of course.
Now, child, of course, it is not my choice to determine your path, but I want to share with you that Meliki's grace welcomes all. Her warm embrace and the love of the forest is a welcome home to any seeking sanctuary. We would like to open that home to you. And Ori just looks at him, kind of smiles. She looks a little bit awkward, but she's not uncomfortable. She keeps kind of glancing to you for comfort. She says, yes, well, thank you. You cannot possibly know the danger that I left, but I feel much better here already in Elventree, and Ranquess and his friends have been very kind to me. Zal looks at you and he says, well, we've learned to trust him and his friends implicitly in their service to us and to their own friends. You may stay as long as you like in the halls of Maliki, if you so choose. Nori just kind of looks to you and she says, it's a home?
I look at her and I pull out the deed to the farmland. And I say, this is another option for you.
What is this?
It is land that I own. I have the deed to. You can live there.
You own?
If you protect my friends who will go with you, they will protect you. I need a human to run the land, to talk to any guards who come in, but the Shadowvar will continue their investigation and help you in whatever way you need.
This is close to Hillsfar.
Yes.
Are you certain it will be safe?
They will protect you. I'm certain of it.
What if the Red Plumes, the Tower Guard, what if they implicate me and come looking?
There's no way for them to implicate you. You are merely a hired hand, and this is the deed. It will hold up.
Zon smiles at you and he adjusts his robes. He says, I was unaware of this arrangement, but it is certainly a happy one. It is better, child, to have good choices than no options. Wouldn't you agree? She looks between you both, just welling up, chokes down her own emotions and says, I thank you both. It is incredible. I'm a little overwhelmed. Respectfully, sir, Zal, you may call me. I thank you for your welcome, but my trust lies with Ranquess for now. I believe it will for some time.
Everyone gets some except Chyna. She's gonna be pissed.
I hand her the deed and I say, the choice is always yours. Know this. You are free.
This is a great trust. Thank you. If you don't mind, I will take in the splendor of this amazing establishment.
Of course, I must see to my friends.
I'll see you at the party then.
Yes, you shall.
Thank you. Again, thank you. Merkesh. Stuffing your hands.
So
fistful
meanwhile-
after fistful of...
just to be clear, am I the only one of us left at the House of the Harp?
No,
Did
I'm still there with Garrick.
No, this is all kind of like everyone's
also on my way
going their
back.
separate ways. As
I'm
you're
with Garrick
stuffing
in
it.
another room, so
Yeah.
I'm not far away.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
And the Shadowvar are still there too.
Yes.
Okay, because I had planned on eating my fill, but there was something else I wanted to do in Elventree.
Mm-hmm.
I need a new bow. And
Okay.
weaponsmithing, as I understand it, would let me make my own bow?
Ooh.
You could certainly attempt to craft your own with the right time and materials, and you're probably in the best location in all of Faerun to attempt that craft.
I would
The
actually-
Elves of Elventree are...
I would like to find one of their expert bowyer Fletchers and go through a little, tutorial with him as to how to make a fine bow.
Sure.
And then to make myself a bow and purchase some arrows. Because I gave away my bow and my arrows.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Forget that. I want knives.
Awesome. Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I do want a bow.
Okay.
making montage.
Final answer.
I
Final
want a bow.
answer.
I want a bow.
Okay.
You walk up
As
to
you make
their
your way
boyer.
towards the only place that's renowned for this, the Gold Cave, you see gobsmacked Faerun exiting with an incredible new piece of armament himself.
What's that thing?
Merkesh meets you at the door.
I'm sorry?
What do you got there? That's
I still don't know the full extent of what I have here.
That's a lovely piece of equipment you got there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get that all the time. I wasn't gonna
Yes,
have to
this is
hold your
true.
staff. It's,
Yeah.
it's all sorts of inappropriate.
Maybe later when we after the festivities.
Are you heading back to the House of the Harp?
Yeah. I thought maybe I would just take my time, stroll around. This is my hometown after all. Maybe visit my folks before heading over to the festivities.
I'm gonna go see someone about making a bow. Because I gave mine away.
Now I'm not sure, but the gentleman, well, the chap who actually fashioned this for me, he might actually be useful for you.
So you know
Still
it.
here. A
Yeah.
voice comes over his shoulder as Emerald casually
Sorry,
leans
I'm
against the archway.
so amazed. But
I don't blame you, friend.
Emerald Sweetwater, please meet my new companion on travels, Merkesh.
Any friend of
Merkesh.
Fine's is a
Extends a
friend of
hand.
mine. I clasp his wrist
Clasp
as well.
yours firmly. A pleasure to meet you.
Maybe you can help me. I'm in the market for a bow. However, I don't want to buy one. I want to learn how to make one.
Oh, you've certainly come to the right place, and I've just finished a long project, in fact, so I do have time.
And let's go to your workshop.
Join me,
Fine,
let
we'll
us
catch
talk.
up with you later.
For sure.
Thanks again, Fine.
Oh.
And look, you're bringing me business. What have I done to deserve you, my friend? And he just taps you on the back as you head out to the Elventree open
Have fun.
wild. As Emerald walks you through his shop, he talks to you about the history of fletching and the boyarcraft that has been handed down from generation to generation amongst elves in the Akvelar and how they equip the citizens' militia with the finest craft. He talks to you a little bit about the history and their theology around how they craft. Becomes more than just a manufacturing process and almost more of like a faith and an obsession. He talks everything down to where they source the fine fibers that create the strings of their bows.
They grow their bows.
They grow their bows.
Well, they grow them, or they craft them out of wood.
We
you
take
grow
the
them.
blessings of Malachi's earth to bestow upon us the materials that we need to create these bows and arrows, staffs, the finest woodworking in all of Faerun.
So, in order to craft one of these bows myself, would I need to find some special tree and bond with it or something? Or
We'd have to train for a time, but if you have somewhat handily come across the ability to craft weaponry, then your journey's already started, my
I
friend.
actually have. So that's I previously had studied under a gentleman named Cleese Garn.
Okay.
He a blacksmith. He taught me the arts of silvering and adding silver to different weapons.
Ah, fantastic. That is a lost art indeed, my friend. Perhaps we could learn a little from one another. Where did you meet this smithy?
Here in Elventree.
Really, when?
This would have been less than a 10-day ago.
I'm not aware of any such smithy. I would have thought anyone.
Well,
who
he was a
has any
traveling
such
smith. He
business.
said he hailed from High Moon.
With the trade merchants in the landing just now.
I didn't see him on the way through, but I'd be really pissed off if my sword's gone.
How odd. I have no knowledge of any such smith. Anyway, I'm sure it doesn't matter. Come on, let us talk more. And he brings you deeper into the workshop and they continue.
I'm gonna
the
craft a bow,
conversation.
but now I'm doing it in a very angry manner.
As you angrily take the lathe, he does begin to help you. He's not going to expect you to learn the nuances of earth binding the materials from Malachi's grace. He's going to take some that they have on hand.
Oh, thank
to
God.
help you work towards
I got time.
something. And he fits it with a lathe, and it begins to spin on an arcane axis as he takes side by side. You take your own, and he begins to, with a rough, coarse stone, the likes of which you've not seen before, he begins to shape out, and you kind of mirror his actions over time, and this takes a course of a few hours. So with that, we're going to pause. We're going to come back
Just
to...
pictured you and
Before-
Emerald doing
before
the
my
scene
natural one
doing the
skill
scene
check.
from Ghost.
Coming back to
Emerald behind you.
Who would I stumble across first?
As you make your way back to
I'm
towards
hurrying.
the House of the Harp, you run into Fa and Merkesh. Presumably, you can inform them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Just so you know, I'm probably not going to be able to join you for the conversation with the Shadowvar. I have something important to do. It's not. It just might take some time. I don't know how much time, but I have to do it. So.
Okay.
If you see Ranquess in China, tell them where I am.
And Merkesh, because Merkesh is not where you were.
And Merkesh.
Yes, very well.
I thought you were
Where
there.
will you be?
I'm at the temple, this temple of Saloon, the Silver Shadow Cave.
I'm sure you miss
Silver
all your
something
sisters
shadow-
and
something. Yes.
loved ones there.
Yes. Actually, my guardian's there. So.
Okay.
And then he kissed me.
And she loves
She's just
to
waiting.
meet you. So.
No.
Anyway, take care. All right, fine. I'll see you soon.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I give him a hug.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
Very well.
And I turn and head back.
Make your way back to the Silver Shadow Cave. As your lips draw closer, you feel sharp stubble, but it's
Just a hand. It was just a hand.
it's interesting. Garrick not necessarily fighting you, but certainly not certain what to make of this situation.
I just
Chyna,
put my hand on his face
no,
lightly.
we mustn't. Yes. No. Yes.
It's all right.
Yes.
I understand. You have obligations.
It's not you.
Yes.
It's me.
That's usually my. That's my line. Usually, you can't pull that on me. That's not how things work.
I invented it.
That's yes.
Know that my care for you is different. But, as I've said, a man of my position does not have this opportunity, and there are many things, dangers that follow us both.
Well, yes.
We must be careful how we approach.
Well, on that note, then, if this is all this is going to lead with, or if this is as far as this is ever going to go, I won't push you. But I do have a question.
Ask it.
Before we left, you said you were going to look into Alhalen's whereabouts, or what happened with him, or did we ever discover anything? What happened, or was he a spy? Just curious what was happening with that.
Unfortunately, our resources have all been tied up with the operation at hand. We have strengthened our security around Elventree, and my promise to you remains sound. I will always keep one eye on you. You will always have the protection of the Akvelar. But please, for my sake, if not your own, you must take care. The darkness that surrounds you is real and serious. And if the source stems from the Underdark, then we have more fights on more fronts than we can manage at once alone. Promise me. And I think you owe it to your friends to share some of the details with them. I know they are concerned. Prove to me that you care for them as well, and I may find myself able to care for you.
Oh my goodness.
Can you do this for me, Chyna? Can you do it for yourself? Don't answer
We'll see.
now. But you will need to answer.
First time ever China's left speechless.
And with that, as you hold the silence,
We need to learn that.
Tamasin, you return to this Silver Shadow Cave. The sister's now ready and prepared for you. All formalities cast aside, they usher you into the ritual chamber. You lay. They help you doff your armor, remove the scale mail. Oh, you weren't wearing
No,
it.
I'm not wearing it.
They help retrieve your personal effects and belongings, and they treat them gently, gingerly to the side. now just enrobed only in white, fresh cloth. They lay you down on the cold marble slab. You feel the chill almost emanate up through your body. In this odd, solemn serenity in the Temple of Saloon, there's also some hesitation, some trepidation, some panic. But Barda puts her small hand on yours and she says, "We won't ever be far from you again, Tammy. Be brave, as I know you will be."
Right.
And she looks at Shasta. She says, "Trust in us, sister."
I do.
As they pull your hands down to your sides, small bowls mounted underneath the temple, underneath the marble slab, they prick each of your middle fingers as your lifeblood begins to drop into a steel pan below. Tink, 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 tink. As they begin to chant around you, your consciousness begins to slip. Not from the pinpricks at your fingers,
Malaram, Sudaram.
but more
Om Nam Shivaya, Om Nam Shivaya, Om Nam Shivaya, Om Nam.
but more of a calm awakening. As the bear with me for a second. I need to read my notes. My own notes.
Fireman in the moon.
Okay. And as the calm overwhelms you and the subtle darkness, the unconsciousness slips in, you are suddenly thrust into a stasis. Like you're walking, not floating, and you're alone. You're uncertain if your feet are meeting the ground or if you're hovering above some ethereal carpet. But the sensation that wafts over your skin is both warm and cold at the same time. And you realize you're naked, clad only in soft moonlight. And a voice enters your thoughts that seems to come from your own mind yet swirl on the outskirts of your sanity. Welcome, child. You are in a place of no danger and no sanctuary. Your answers will determine how much you deserve to see. Your actions will dictate whether or not you are allowed to leave here with your knowledge. You will walk in my light. Do you accept this, my vessel?
Yes, goddess.
The scene shifts and changes to reveal a small hovel built amongst the trees, a humble abode crafted with care. The sounds of children laughing and playing permeate the air, marked by a suddenly familiar smell of soot and ash. The clanging of an iron hammer against an anvil rings out in the noon air. You're calm and safe here. Make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
18.
You feel your consciousness creeping into this divine vision from Saloon, but you push it away and you manage to focus on your connection and remain resolute, tight with your goddess, and you stay determined to see it through. But the scene shifts again, and the setting becomes dark. Storm clouds gather, and the noon daylight turns to ominous black. Children's laughter is replaced by shouting and screams, wolves howling in the distance. A large, strapping human man brings a mighty blade downward, coursing in the night air. You begin to feel limp and helpless as you're unsure if whether in your dream state or in your wakefulness you utter the word, "Run." Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Run.
That's terrible. 3.
3. As you panic, you begin to stammer and stutter as you know your consciousness begins to creep into the vision and take place, pushing Saloon's divinity further and further away. You feel a hand clasp around yours, offering you strength, and almost in a very faint distance you hear the soft whisperings and chantings of Shasa and Barda, and they slowly slip away, pushing you deeper into the vision. and helping restore your connection with Saloon as you're back in the vision, but different. This time you're whisked away, lifted high and fast, filled with panic, but taken far away from danger, far from harm. A deep chill enters your very bones. You feel yourself flying. You're coursing over towns, treetops, rivers, and lakes, higher above towers and mountaintops. So high, the air begins to feel thin. You struggle for breath. It becomes more frigid. And you feel the frigid, paralyzing winter around you. You go high, and then course down through clouds, feeling ice against your skin, floating towards stark gray cliffside marked with snow and ice. The only thing you can focus on is something moving against the sheer mountain face. You feel Saloon's light guiding you closer to the creature on the cliffside. The creature becomes form. The form becomes human. A white-haired, majestic, powerful young woman struggles in a life-or-death match against the cold white face of the mountain. You hover in silence as her muscles tense, and she climbs higher and higher on a journey of her own. In a fraction of a second that seems like days, she halts her ascent and looks into the sky. Your breath catches in your throat as you realize seeing her is like peering into a mirror, or rather a parallel version of yourself. She seems to be looking towards you. Tamasin. As soon as the words leave her lips, you're drowning in blackness. The vision ceases immediately, and your eyes adjust to the dim comfort of the Silver Shadow Cave. Barda cradles you, wide-eyed, as you sputter and shake in the water that now soaks your face and robes. Shasa holds an empty water basin, and all activity in the room freezes in shock as they wait for you to speak.
I think I have a sister?
Barda and Shasta exchange a confused, wide-eyed glance. They say, You have a sister. This was strange for all of us indeed. There were moments, child, where I feel like we shared in you, but it's spotty. Tell us what you saw.
At first there was nothing. And then the goddess spoke to me directly and told me that if I did what she needed me to do or answered what she needed answered, I would get my answers of my own. And then I followed her and I saw home or something that felt like home.
Barda takes your hand. Go on.
And then the next thing, it got dark. There was a man with an axe. And someone told me to run, or I told myself to run. Someone said run, and I lost it, and I could hear you. But I could hear you, and I could hear Shasta, and I could hear everyone else here. But then I was pushed back into the vision, and I saw a girl on a mountain, and she looked like me. She looked just like me, except white hair, stronger than I've ever been. But like a mirror image otherwise, just with deliberate mistakes. And then she said my name, and I came back.
They look back and forth to one another. These pieces confirm our early suspicion. And while our goddess works in mysterious ways, as do all of our deities, there's absolutely an open conduit from you to Saloon, and perhaps between you and this other. Barda nods. We'll never be far from you, Tammy. We feel that this could be the opening for something greater. Shasta says, let us not jump too quickly to conclusions surrounding this vision. Please keep us apprised of any new developments, visions that you experience. We can investigate further. You've given us a lot to work with, Tamasin. I hope you are well and know that we have only your best interests in mind.
Thank you. Honestly, thank you.
She needs rest, Shasta. You look tired, dear. Beautiful, but tired.
I could sleep for days.
We can let her go. We'll take care of it for now.
Thank you.
They return your belongings to you, and they begin to roll up the linens and the dressings around the marble slab. At this point, as you exit out from the Silver Shadow Cave and into the grass carpeting, this familiar now comfort setting, into the trade landing, now the smell of roasted meats and floral essences, incense are beginning to spiral into the air. Small bonfires have been erected in your honor as the festivities begin to take place and take hold in the trade landing. You all kind of make your way through. As you return back to the House of the Harp, the Shadowvar are meeting you on the outset. Hilrad is nowhere to be seen. Garrick halts you, gathers you both together, says, I believe our business will suffer one night. Perhaps we should wait for Hilrad to continue the discussion we mentioned. For now, I would love nothing more than for you all to enjoy a much-deserved rest and a celebration in your honor. Will that suit you, Ranquess?
Yes. I believe we are in much need of celebration and rest.
Very well. Then have at it, friends. I'll see to my own affairs and join you shortly. So he nods towards you, Chyna. Madam Bigly,
Yes.
will you be joining us, I'm certain?
I will be joining the festivities. Can turn down a good party.
Then I'll see you all shortly. Have at it. And he makes his way back into the halls of the harp, leaving you open to this now brewing festivity, trays of meats and their various accompaniments, roasted tubers. Is outdoors in the trade landing. So what was previously the housing for the trade merchants that came to sell their wares, there's still a few around. Certainly a familiar voice echoes amongst the night. Skies, Misha says, I'm not
even
was
there.
a
I'm not
reason
even
for
there
me to
yet."
stay, but one more day. Look at you.
I'm still going through the Unchained Melody
I
thing
know
in the
someone
Gold
who will be
Cave.
very happy to see you, Misha.
Is that so?
Yes.
Who might that be? Have I an admirer, Ranquess?
You've forgotten him already.
Oh, I don't know. So
I will
many
enjoy
men, you
telling him that
know.
news.
I get that. So many men.
Here's to you, sister. And she holds her hand up and gives you a high five.
like this.
As serving staff, Akvil are repurposed to help with the festivities of walking around with trays of wines and full mugs of ale sloshing to and fro.
I'm grabbing 2 very large mugs of ale, and
Okay.
I'm going to look for Merkesh.
Okay.
I would still be in the Gold Cave. If you wander over there, you're gonna hear Unchained Melodies coming out through the back of the shop.
Yep.
I think in the wake of your work with Emeril, you spend about 3 hours pouring over the details. You manage to craft the beginnings of a first woodwork, but he beckons you to come back after the festivities and rejoin him the next day to continue the work. He
Will
doesn't
do.
think it will take too long.
Okay. I'm going to thank him for his help and head back out to the outside the trade district and try to make my way back to the blacksmithing shop where I had practiced blacksmithing with that guy who he says he's never heard of,
Okay.
just to see if that's still there. Because if I imagine the whole thing, then the sword should be right where I left it.
As you make your way back through, you see the flattened, tired ground where carts once stood. The only carts that remain, however, you recognize the swaying racks of Misha's alchemy cart and a couple of other bards and troubadours kind of make their way through, playing lutes. Chyna lives on a
Wait,
fife
no,
in the
I
background.
have mugs. I'm looking for him too.
Merkesh, my friend.
And
I
but
mean,
you
I'm on
don't
the
see any sign of Cleese or the cart that he previously attended.
When I see him, I'm going up to him.
The eyebrow is just like twitching.
Merkesh,
Hey, Chyna.
friend, here I brought you some ale.
Thanks. I will hold this one for you while you drink that one.
Actually, I thought we could drink these together, and you could come with me, and we could have a little chat.
Sounds good. And I cheers Chyna.
Right.
And slosh.
I'm leading him back to where the attack happened.
Okay.
Yes.
She kind of guides you as you sip on your mugs together in between an outcropping between two cave shop fronts into a small clearing where there is, it looks like it's been cleared for a campsite. There are the burnt, charred remains of a fire pit, a couple of logs laying around. It looks like it's somewhat prepared or have been used in the past. Beyond that, there's nothing else.
It doesn't look like there's any sign of a disturbance, like there was a fierce battle here a couple days ago or anything.
No.
Okay, so I turn to Chyna with my now half full thing of, whatever the hell is in this thing. I take another big sip, and I'm like, okay.
So, all right. So, I know you want some answers for some things, and I've been advised that I should tell our party. Now, I don't feel really comfortable telling everyone in the party.
Who tells Chyna Bigly what to do? Because I've tried it several times and have had zero success.
Look, there's certain people or persons who perhaps I need to do something to get something. So
Dessandra's brother, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, so forget the who's telling you the what.
Yes.
What's the what? Why have we been attacked like on multiple occasions from like both drow and these like stupid little big elves,
All right.
dwarf things?
Well, all right. So I'm telling you this in confidence. I don't want you to tell the rest of the party. It will put them in more danger than anything.
Well, know that I would protect them as I would protect you.
Well, that's why I'm telling you.
And I would protect almost everyone as much as I would protect Tamasin.
That I know. Look, I may have some things from my past, and my name that you know me by might not be my true name.
So you're not Chyna Bigly?
Well, I'm Chyna.
Okay.
The posters that you found around.
Oh, you mean this thing? And I pull out the, in my sack, the, reward for her, which is still looking like a pretty hefty reward.
So, again, you can't tell the other party members this.
If you would ask me to keep this between you and I have no difficulty with that, but you keep no secrets from me.
I can manage that.
Okay, so who's after you and why?
I may or may not have a few deep gnomes from the Underdark looking for me.
Okay. Looking for you as they want you. I mean, the poster says they want you alive or dead.
Well, I may be from a high up family in the gnome lineage, and I've changed my last name because my parents were murdered in a pub, and I took on a bardic inspiration name, and I changed my name to Bigly, and I just started to go around with different bards so that they wouldn't find me, and there's this one particular gnome who's from the Underdark, and he kind of wants to murder me and my whole family, and he kind of killed my whole race when I was a little child, and he came back and he killed my family and he killed my parents, but that's just in the past. But I think they're after me again. I've been kind of aloof trying to get away from him, and then here he is again.
Do you still have something of his or your parents?
Well,
Because they keep finding us somehow.
I have nothing. I really don't. I don't have anything from my parents.
No keepsakes of that life.
Well, no.
No rings, no jewelry, no coins, no
All my
combs, no instruments.
all my personal items and my instruments and everything were from when I started being in the pub, and we were already gone from our gnome home by then.
Well,
My family's a little bit high
so
up.
thank you for letting me know. And I won't share your secret with the rest of the team, but
If
but if we are attacked again, you may have to.
yes.
I got your back, short stuff.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate your skills.
And my cup runneth empty.
As does mine.
Then back to the festivities, yes?
Sounds good. Thank
And
you.
I clap her on the shoulder and just offer like a reassuring squeeze, like, don't worry, no harm will become you when I'm there,
Thank you, Merkesh.
unless I do it.
I did get attacked by 3 Doer God here in Elventree.
What?
Yes, right here. In this very spot. I was all by myself. It was Al Hayden. He said to me to come to meet him, and I did. Like he said.
Wait, that elven fop that I sent to your room?
Yes, that's the one. And it turns out it was on a loop, and I noticed the trick too late, cause
Girl needs a drink.
Okay. Hey, next time you're attacked, could you let us know? Maybe we could help?
Well, I mean, Garrett came. And not like that. Sorry, that's
I
not
need
going
another
to
drink.
happen at all.
Phrasing.
Yes.
I need another drink.
Oh,
I can't,
me
I
too.
can't- I
I'm
can't have
sorry.
it.
Perhaps we'll chat later more.
Although, you and Garrick, I mean, you were in that room for quite a while, huh?
It's not going to happen.
I'll talk to him.
No, it's all right, really.
It's
Merkesh.
I got your back.
No, Merkesh, it's really.
I
it's-
don't worry about it,
it's
John.
no, it's fine. Like, don't. It's all right. I'm small, you know. Maybe he's not. Yeah. Thank you. More drinks then.
Yeah, back to the
Yeah,
festival,
thanks for
and
letting me-
we wander off back down the trail towards the festival.
And how the rest of you
That was the
spend your
best
time
part
at
I've ever
festivities. Great exchange. Great exchange.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that like 6 times to get that story, though.
Some much needed closure for Merkesh, I'm sure. How about the rest of you?
Feels good to get that
I
off my
would like
chest
to
to
spend
someone.
some
Great.
time. Well, first I'll go back to visit my folks.
Okay.
And then I will spend some time in my room with Theron's memory in my lap.
Let's keep it clean. Keep it clean, yes.
Yes.
At the end of the day,
this is
Derek
special.
feels
Perhaps to
sad.
sort of divine maybe more details of the weapon.
Sure.
He
I
wants
will,
to focus on his wood.
I will set you up with a card for
Very good. Thank you.
Theron's memory. But as you begin to spend some more time attuning with the object and understanding it, getting in touch with its power, learning how it relates to you, you definitely feel a bond. And there's something in it, something lingering in the prized possession that Theron bestowed upon you that has now transcended into this beautiful piece. It seems to speak to you
Sorry.
with a far-off sentience, but not like a sentient object, or at least nothing that's there manifested just yet. This object is known as... it is known now as the presence of Theron, and that represents its ability to return to you when needed. So I'll give you a quick rundown. It's a +2 weapon. It seems to have the ability to evolve with you. It is somewhere in the midlife stage of its evolution now, and it needs to spend time with you just as you need to spend time with it.
And a moonstone.
It can function as a thrown weapon, as you've seen. It has regular thrown properties, so 20 to 40 feet. Anything between 20 and 40 is with a disadvantage.
2040.
Yep, 20-40. And 3 times per long rest, you can recall the staff in that way. So you can throw it and recall it to you. If the staff is blocked from returning to you, not from throwing, but from returning to you by some means in between, like mid-flight, it will phase shift back to your hand.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And that's what you can glean from the object at the moment.
Okay, that's fine.
Ranquess.
I'm spending some time with Aura. Basically taking her around. Yeah.
He's, he's
keep-
casting friends on himself.
keeping her warm, putting the moves on her.
She's vastly appreciative and definitely made lighter between the wine she's had at the Halls of the Unicorn and a couple of cups from the festivities at hand, and you kind of swap stories a little bit. She seems keenly interested on whatever you do share with her. By the way, what do you share with her?
I share very little of my actual
Informationally
my
speaking.
current mission.
He's large. I've seen it.
I basically share with her the torment that I went through as a child when I was in Hillsfar, and I understand why she wished to escape such a brutal city, and that I feel a kinship with her, and basically started walking in the direction of the inn.
Very nice. And instantly your bond is strengthened as you find common ground in the torment that you both shared under the tyranny of Hillsfar. And it's marked with moments of, careful intimacy, but jovial new friendship bonding and forming as well. She wants to kind of stick around the festivities a little bit, but as you kind of cater to her and entertain her for a little while, she then follows you wherever you would like to lead her pretty much at this point. So, but she's still
into
well
the
within her
inn-
facilities.
into the
She's
inn
lightly buzzed,
and-
she's not drunk.
Into the inn and
She's drinking
thaumaturgy, I light
responsibly.
all the candles in the room.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
We're gonna need a sexual performance check on that.
Yeah. We won't get too adulty on you guys, don't worry. We'll save that for the
damn.
outtakes.
That is what? Persuasion?
Yeah.
24.
24?
She's like,
She looks heavily at you,
He snaps
bats
his
her
finger, her robes
eyelids,
fall off.
and as the lights illuminate, just with a soft glow, the room in the swing bow, she very intently looks at you as she draws the string from her bodice. And drops
please
her
prepare if you
robe
need
to the
roleplay
floor.
this.
As instant
Fast
panty
forward
removal.
and long rest.
Yeah, the swaying bow is now the rocking bow in the heart of Elventree.
Yeah, but you can find me.
I'm
Tamasin.
fine. Yeah, no, yes.
Oh no,
A lot of
we're still together, you and I.
We're
A lot of
walking and
information
looking
for Tamasin
prints.
tonight.
Well, we're walking
How
does
right
she
past
unwind?
Marquesha's.
She's come
sorry,
back
Hold
into
on, bring it
the,
back. See,
I will
save it
keep
for the
walking.
overview.
because this guy gets laid before Merkesh.
she's
I don't
come
know.
back
back
into
here.
the festivities, looking for her friends. So guess she's finding you two.
Sure. You see Merkesh and Chyna emerging from a small alcove between two cave-side market
All right.
storefronts.
So I love you both, but I've had a really weird night. Can we not make it weirder?
Do you want to drink? Do you want?
I might want to drink.
You want?
In fact, I might really need to drink.
We're gonna go get Merkesh. Thank you. Let's go drink.
Okay.
Drink.
We're gonna drink. It's been a weird day,
I
right?
guess.
Weird day. Okay.
I mean,
I talked to my
Another
goddess.
round.
if there's any time for celebration, I'd say it's
In my
tonight.
brain.
Sure.
your goddess.
Also, I might
your
have
brain.
a sister.
Yeah, you need alcohol
What?
right
I
need
now.
so much
I
alcohol.
find the strongest thing
Fair
available
You
to
have-
I had a
drink
weird night.
for both of us.
Sure. Some of the Aquilar serving hands
tell you
come
about
by.
it.
They
Alcohol.
share with you large mugs of thick, dark ale as they go to fetch you something stronger
Excellent.
from the spirit tank.
Wonderful.
And she says, we've got, the serving maid says, we've got something that you will love and hopefully not forget.
oh,
As you
well,
cheers,
depends how much you drink with. Right?
you drink, the sounds of music and reverie float into the night sky, mingling with the smoke, the pleasantries of the incense, the warm, sweet smell of the roast meats and fresh vegetables. As the reverie and jovialness of this festivity seem to mirror a much-needed break. And you continue catching up with friends, newfound friends, and some that you feel like you've traveled with for some time now, sharing stories, leaving hills far behind. However,
Dun dun dun.
in the
foreshadow.
depths below the fortified city,
wait, in the depths below?
Yeah.
deep below, in catacombs long forgotten, a cold wind stirs and gathers. Unbeknownst to those who've lived there, present or future, if one were to stand in the darkness of these cold fingerling channels in the subterranean of Hillsfar and listen, a haunting, chill voice can be heard on this cold, frigid wind speak.
Hashtag Hillsfar's problem.
And that's where we'll end our session.
Let's go back to the blood fountain
And the first season
I want to try a thing.
of Charisma Check.
Oh, wait, no, that's the end of the season.
That's the end of the
That's
season.
season 1.
That's the end of season 1. So we've concluded the first official story arc of Charisma Check. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us tonight. Thanks for coming back week after week to the stream. I will get caught up on chat and we'll get back and forth with you. I wish we could be more interactive with chat, but Charisma Check's all about the story and all about the character interactions and developments, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you've enjoyed watching half as much as we've enjoyed playing, then we've done a fantastic job.
Impossible.
And we'll keep coming back,
That's not
delivering
true.
every Thursday. So if you're new to the chat, please toss us a follow. We appreciate your support. Please keep coming back. The story's only going to get better. We finally, I think, got our tech in a happy place. Hopefully, fewer and fewer technical difficulties as we roll along. We're going to have all these episodes available on our YouTube channel, so check those out.
Was it my kid?
And thanks very much, guys. We really do appreciate it. So, from all of us at Charisma Check and on behalf of the cast, thanks very much for joining us. And until next Thursday, have a great week. We'll see you soon. Good night, checkmates.